But Manchester United would like nothing more than winning 3 points against Sheffield United to pay the ultimate tribute to their all-time great, Sir Bobby Charlton. Live and exclusive national radio commentary of Sheffield United, Manchester United, here on Talksport with your commentary team at Bramall Lane, of former Leeds striker Lucy Ward, alongside your match commentator, Ian Danton.
Thanks very much, Faye, and a very good evening to you wherever and however you're listening to Talksport on this incredibly sad day for the national sport, as a national icon is no longer with us. Sir Bobby Charlton, 249 goals for Manchester United, not to mention the 49 goals he scored for his country, passing away at the age of 86. And as you heard from our chief football correspondent Alex Crook earlier, there will be a book of condolence opened at Old Trafford tomorrow, and there will be major celebrations of his life on Tuesday in the Champions League tie against FC Copenhagen. But at the moment, with the players having emerged from the tunnel down beneath us, Bruno Fernandes, the Manchester United captain, has a wreath of flowers in his hand, and he will be soon placing that in the centre circle as the Manchester United players make an immediate tribute to their hero. And applause all round the ground for that gesture from the Manchester United captain. There already was a moment of silence planned for events that are currently going on abroad, specifically in the Middle East. And also the No Room for Racism campaign is in effect at the moment, where each game in the Premier League for the past 2 match rounds has been honoured, as we remember that there's no room for racism in football. And as the two captains come together, Ollie Norwood of Sheffield United, who was once a Manchester United trainee, and Bruno Fernandes, who was sorting out the coin toss with our referee this evening, Michael Oliver. The rest of the players are already stood around the centre circle in either half of the field, preparing to pay their respects not only to those who've lost their lives in events in Israel and in Gaza, but also to remember, I think it's fair to say, the greatest English footballer who ever lived. Sir Bobby Charlton, 86 years of age when he passed away. No better ambassador for the game of football than Sir Bobby.
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody in the ground, the thoughts of everybody at the Sheffield United Football Club, and with the innocent civilians who have lost their lives, and all the communities impacted by the ongoing crisis in Israel and Gaza. As a mark of respect for all those affected, players, managers and match officials are wearing black armbands at today's fixture. Additionally, we would like as a club to pay respects following the sad news earlier of the passing of Sir Bobby Charlton, of course synonymous with today's visitors. Sir Bobby and Will Bruno will remembered as a giant of the game. He played 750 games, he scored 249 goals during 17 years of Manchester United career. We offer our sincere condolences to our opponents this evening, his wife, Lady Norma, his daughters, and his grandchildren. God bless you, Sir Bobby.
Well, you heard it there. The public address system had barely got through the first sentence of their written tribute to Sir Bobby Charlton, and the applause began right around Bramall Lane, and I have never, ever heard applause that loud any of the times I've witnessed that, Lucy Ward, at football matches to honour the late, great Sir Bobby Charlton.
Absolutely incredible noise in Bramall Lane. Both sets of supporters joining in.
And now matters turn to the football match that's about to get underway as the music changes to a bit of John Denver, and the Greasy Chip Butty song suddenly rings around Bramall Lane to kind of bring us back down to earth, really. The Kop to our right, the Bramall Lane to our left, and the Bramall Lane to our left is where the Manchester United supporters are. And Sheffield United still seeking their first Premier League win of the campaign, get us underway, wearing their traditional red and white striped shirts, black shorts and socks, whilst Manchester United are in their change strip tonight of the dark green and white stripes with white shorts and socks. And Manchester United are defending that Bramall Lane end away to our left, so they'll be attacking the Kop, will Manchester United, in the first half. And a man synonymous with Sheffield United in his younger days, 3 times Player of the Year when he was a Blade, Harry Maguire, will take a free kick inside the first minute for Manchester United. Floats it out to the far left-hand side. Victor Lindelof once again having to do a job at left-back, with Sergio Reguilon still not fit to come into the matchday squad despite returning to training. And Diogo Dalot strokes the ball up to Scott McTominay, the 2-goal hero against Brentford in the last game before the international break. Ball given away, and Gustavo Harmer wins it back for Sheffield United. Claims for a foul on Cameron Archer by Maguire, given by Michael Oliver. So with a minute gone, Sheffield United have a free kick midway point of the Manchester United half, tight to this near left-hand touchline, and a chance, Lucy Ward, to swing the ball into the danger area early.
Yeah, I mean, they've had an absolutely dismal start to the Premier League, haven't they? Sheffield United, they've had injuries, have Manchester United, who've not been up to their usual standard as well. So I think this first goal in this game is so important. Sheffield United want to get this crowd going.
Norwood sends the right-footed free kick in. It's headed away by Bruno Fernandes. Harmer guides it back to the halfway line, and Austin Trusty, part of the Sheffield United back 4 tonight. It's not a back 3. First time in a good while that Paul Heckingbottom has dispensed with a 3 centre-half system. I'll run you through the lineups quickly. Fotheringham in goal for Sheffield United. Bogle, Trusty, Robinson, Thomas in a back 4. Norwood, Sousa, Harmer in midfield. McAtee playing in behind Archer and McBurney. For United, Onana in goal. Dalot, Maguire, Evans, Lindelof in their back 4. McTominay and Amrabat, the holding midfielders. And then Anthony, Fernandes and Rashford behind Højlund. Here's McBurney looking to release Cameron Archer, left-hand corner of the area, tries to tee it back up for McBurney, only half cleared. Gustavo Harmer tries a shot, blocked by the arm. McBurney drives it straight at Onana, who plunged down to his left and made the save, and the flag had stayed down as Ollie McBurney suddenly was presented with the ball via a ricochet just inside the area, but Onana made the save. 0-0.
Yeah, good connection between McBurney and Cameron Archer. As soon as it lands at Harmer, everybody in the stadium wants him to shoot. It lands at McBurney, but he just couldn't get hold of it really, and that's quite positive from the Sheffield United point of view. Some shouts for handball. I don't think it touched Harry Maguire's hand, to be honest.
Onana will play the ball to Harry Maguire. I think it was more off his chest onto his arm, with that shot from distance by Gustavo Harmer as it hit Maguire pretty much at the edge of the area. Onana hits a diagonal ball down the left-hand side, looking for Marcus Rashford, who of course scored for his country against Italy. You heard it on Talksport in the week. Can he bring that confidence back into his club football, Marcus Rashford? Trusty steps in front of Højlund, and then Jack Robinson puts his right foot through it at the edge of his own penalty area. Long, high looping clearance is headed away by Harry Maguire, but Norwood volleys it back into Manchester United territory. But they get a bit of a mess, McAtee and McBurney between them, and Bruno Fernandes, the Manchester United captain, tidies up. 3 minutes gone on Talksport in the Premier League. Sheffield United 0, Manchester United 0. Onana again driving the ball down the centre of the field, but it's far too long and too straight for Højlund, and 2 bounces, and it's through to West Fotheringham to our right, 0-0.
Yeah, it looks like Sheffield United are playing, when they've not got it, they're playing 4-4-2, and then when they do get it, McAtee is just pushing up on that right-hand side to join McBurney and Archer, and trying to put this backline of Manchester United that is much changed from what, if everybody was fit, would be the usual lineup. Maguire and Johnny Evans, the senior players in that.
The applause you can hear as we tick round past 4 minutes is for Tommy Højlund, who represented Sheffield United with great distinction just after the Second World War. And his son Jamie played for the club as well, I seem to remember. Tommy Hoyland sadly passed away. Down has gone Vinicius Souza, but no free kick for the Sheffield United midfielder. It's a lot cut and thrust to these early exchanges, and Sheffield United have won the ball back on halfway. McBurney finds Cameron Archer, midway point of the Manchester United half, just to the left of centre. McBurney then gives it back to the captain Norwood. He plays a square ball in field to Vinicius Souza, and he just calmly rolls the ball to his right to Jayden Bogle. McAtee hugging that right-hand side, as Lucy Ward was saying, when Sheffield United have more forward-thinking ambitions, but the ball's now gone all the way back to goalkeeper Wes Fotheringham, who floats the ball out to this near side, the left. Luke Thomas got a touch just ahead of Anthony, who went down looking hurt, but he's quickly back to his feet. 5 gone, 0-0 between Sheffield United and Manchester United on Talksport. Earlier today, Liverpool won the Merseyside derby. You heard it on Talksport, 2-0. Just now, Arsenal came back from 2-2 to draw with Chelsea, but Manchester United are top, having beaten Brighton by 2-1 despite a late red card for Pep Guardiola's men.
I'm just looking at Sheffield United, and they do commit bodies forward, and that's where they're vulnerable, and that's where Manchester United will hurt. The Manchester United do have to have the right attitude, right mentality here, because the crowd will get behind Sheffield United. They'll try and see if they can get that first win of the season, but they just leave themselves open when they get forward.
So it's Sheffield United 0, Manchester United 0 here in the Premier League. What about the World Cup semi-final in the Rugby Union? England, South Africa, early stages. Andrew McKenna.
7 on the watch. England 3, South Africa 0 inside 2 minutes. England have won an early penalty. South Africa not rolling away at the breakdown. Owen Farrell has slotted that one over for a 3-0 lead. England making good possession and good territory gains as well. 7 on the clock, 3-0 up.
Thank you, Macca. Ball's out of play for Sheffield United. Throw on the far side of the field from us on the John Street side. We're sat in the Tony Curry main stand. Lucy Ward and myself, Ian Dante, here on Talksport, with the Manchester United fans away to our left and the Bramall Lane end, and the Kop to our right. That single tier stand that goes back and back and back at a very shallow angle. 2 massive great posts holding it up, giving a slightly obstructive view to 1 or 2.
Just looking at Man United dance, and they've struggled a little bit with confidence. I think in some games they've played well for the first 20 minutes, then conceded and heads have gone down. They've not quite built on what Ten Hag had sorted out last season. That has changed the culture, or trying to change the culture, but it seems to be a little bit more wrong than just that. The injuries haven't helped, but they really need a positive start in this game.
Headed on by Gus Harmer, and Archer just tried his luck from 20 yards out, but the flag was already up for an offside, so it'll be a free kick to Manchester United. 7 minutes gone on Talksport on Game Day exclusive. Sheffield United 0, Manchester United 0. No win in 10 for Sheffield United if you go back to last season, and no clean sheet in their last 5 matches. And Paul Heckingbottom's had a couple of weeks to work on these tactics and the slight change in formation that the Blades are employing this evening. 4 at the back. Manchester United have it just over halfway with Dallow on this near side, the right hand side, just beneath our combative position. Anthony thinks about coming in field. Luke Thomas watching him now. He tries to go beyond Thomas down the right hand side of the area. Thomas goes down. He was pushed in the back by Anthony. It's a free kick to Sheffield United. In fact, I think Michael Oliver's left it for a goal kick to the Blades away to our right. Stays 0-0.
Yeah, it's the first time really for Manchester United up the pitch. Sheffield United have started off quite high intensity, but not really much quality. A couple of chances, but Man United just need to get themselves into this game. I can understand why Ten Hag's playing Evans and Maguire in terms of what he's got available. I know Varane's just coming back from injury, but just they need leadership. So I think on a night like this, where it could be a real banana skin coming here to Bramall Lane because they're looking for the first win of the season, you need to have really cool heads.
But then if Harry Maguire isn't up for a game on his old stomping ground, when will he be up for a game? I'm sure he is. But yes, Raphael Varane waits amongst the Manchester United substitutes tonight, but Sergio Reguilon, who's back training, still not fit enough to join the squad. Sheffield United in possession. Good quick feet from Cameron Archer. The ball ricochets in field. McBurney shows really good strength to hold off Bruno Fernandes, and then Norwood drives it out to the right wing for McAtee. Comes inside just for a moment. Skips away from his man. Tries to chip it into the area. Amrabat back at the 18-yard line. Heads it clear, but Vinicius Souza keeps the ball alive for Sheffield United. Then the diagonal ball. McBurney, lovely cushion header down for Cameron Archer. And then Harmer tries to get involved. Amrabat's there once again for Manchester United to try and win it back. And he lays it back to Dalot. Amrabat once more can turn inside his own half and fires a neat ball out to Marcus Rashford on halfway. Bogle closing down the space, so Rashford elects not to make a run down that left flank, but instead gives it inside to Lindelof, and his attempted ball. In fact, it was Fernandes who tried the through ball, and again 2 bounces and through to Foderingham. Now Harmer, good ball over halfway to Ollie McBurney. Now McAtee up against Lindelof once more down that Sheffield United right, attacking the Bramall Lane end. Sends it back 10 yards or so for Bogle. McAtee once again hits it against Lindelof and wins Sheffield United a throw. 10 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, McBurney is involved in everything that Sheffield United do going forward. He's a great foil. He get it into his feet either up against the centre backs or he drops for it, and he's really tidy with his touches and really standing up to be counted, because you need sort of that sort of mentality here when they've not won yet and you want to get points in the season. You need players like that to stand up and be counted.
Cameron Archer's just won a free kick for Sheffield United, got a push in the back from Harry Maguire. So Sheffield United have a free kick about the midway point of the Manchester United half to the left of centre. Norwood takes all the set pieces. He was thinking about a quick one to roll down the left hand side of the area there for Cameron Archer, but he's decided he's going to wait. Manchester United holding their line level with the edge of the D. In it comes then from Norwood, chipped in and headed away very comfortably by Bruno Fernandes. Anthony skips away from one challenge. He was brought down by Norwood, and now Manchester United can clear their lines with a free kick, 0-0.
Yeah, that was actually a good opportunity for Sheffield United, but the ball in from Norwood just didn't reach. It needed to go beyond, it needed to be attacked, and poor ball in, and then Norwood ends up fouling Anthony as he regains possession. And a little bit sloppy in transition, I would say, when they lose it, Sheffield United, so that would favour the pace that Manchester United have got, but they've not got going yet.
0-0 on Talksport, 12 minutes gone. Harry Maguire, once of Sheffield United, just has the ball at his feet, just shy of the halfway line, plays it along the deck through the halfway line for Anthony. Fernandes trying to send it through for Højlund, who's yet to break his Premier League duck for Manchester United, loses out, and then McBurney and Archer combine well again just over the halfway line of Sheffield United counter. Norwood looks for Gus Harmer on this near side, the inside left channel for Sheffield United, tries to come inside Sofian Amrabat, but then loses out, but he's won it back. Centre of the half, fires the ball out to McAtee, right hand corner of the area. Bogle goes on the underlap, and it goes looking for Archer, headed up in the air by Evans. McBurney scrapping for possession with Dalot. He's got in front of his man, tried to shift it onto his right and get a shot away, went down, looked imploringly for a penalty, which Michael Oliver was never going to give. 0-0.
I tell you what, McBurney is causing problems for Evans and Maguire, whichever one it is he decides to target, and he just gets his body in the way, a little flicks away into the path of Cameron Archer, and they'll certainly know that they're in a game, those two centre-backs.
He had a pretty torrid time in the Premier League 2 years ago, Ollie McBurney, but he scored 13 goals in the Championship last year, one so far in the Prem this season for Ollie McBurney. And reading what I've been reading about Sheffield United this week, he's been seen as a bit of a leader, and some of the younger players are looking up to him for a bit of guidance so far this season. Clear handball against Diogo Dalot. Looked like a bit of handball by Luke Thomas initially for Sheffield United, but it's been given to the Blades, and they have a free kick. You listen to Sheffield United 0, Manchester United 0 on Talksport with Now. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Sheffield United versus Manchester United right now for £11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. Ian Danton, Lucy Ward with you on this Saturday evening on Talksport, and we'll be on air here at Bramall Lane till 11 before Fight Night kicks in. As Sheffield United send the ball down the right hand side, looking for the run of McAtee. Evans will hook it clear for Manchester United, but it's won back by the Blades, but the header down the right hand side from Vinicius Souza doesn't stay in play, and so United have themselves a throw, which Lindelof takes quickly to give back to his goalkeeper, Andre Onana. Everybody's got an opinion on Andre Onana as Manchester United goalkeeper and whether he's doing a sound job. What's yours, Lucy Ward?
Well, I think that he's not been helped by the fact that he's not had a solid back four in front of him. I think he's been brought in to take risks in possession, and he steps in between the centre-backs and helps with passing up the pitch, which is exactly what Ten Hag wants. And a couple of dodgy moments, but I do think that the injuries to the likes of Shaw and Martinez and Varane have not helped the goalkeeper. You know, you need to have a solid back four in front of you that's not changing all the time.
0-0. Sheffield United head the ball up on halfway, and McBurney once again involved in the action and lays it off to Jayden Bogle, who's moving forward. McAtee to his right, gets to the edge of the area, still Bogle going, but he runs into Johnny Evans, who sticks out a foot and starts off a Manchester United counter. Fernandes finds Rashford down the left-hand side, plenty of green and white striped shirts forward for United. Rashford into the area left-hand side, watched by Vinicius Souza, has to lay it off to Fernandes. Strokes it across to Anthony at the edge of the D. Gets a left-footed shot away, and that's a comfortable save for Wes Foderingham, plunging to his right at the Kop end. 0-0 on the quarter-hour mark on Talksport between the Blades and the Red Devils. Lucy Ward.
Yeah, Sheffield United had a little bit more of the ball, but I think that you just see that Manchester United will be dangerous on those breaks. Sheffield United not really made the most of getting themselves in a good position on the edge of the area. No real quality in the final third yet, but the build-up's been good into McBurney's feet, and I don't think he's lost it once yet. And I think that they've just got to build on that. But you've got to take opportunities. You know, when you're playing in the Premier League, particularly against a team like Manchester United, when you get in that area, you've got to have the quality, and that's what Sheffield United have been lacking so far this season.
Both managers stood at the edge of their technical areas. Erik Ten Hag, hands in pockets. Paul Heckingbottom, who was a Manchester United trainee back in the early 90s at the advent of the Premier League, before he moved on and had a playing career and then went on to management with the likes of Barnsley and of course here at Sheffield United. And he watches on as Marcus Rashford bursts down the left-hand side, gets to the byline, pulls it back too deep for Højlund, headed up in the air for Anthony, who tries an ambitious volley from the right-hand corner of the area, and it's gone a good 4 or 5 yards wide of Fotheringham's near post, and it's a Sheffield United goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, like Marcus Rashford cheats a little, and I don't mean that as a negative. He actually waits in areas where when Man United win it back, that he's waiting to get in behind. It's actually not a bad ball across from the left-hand side, and just needed Anthony attacking it earlier, and he was waiting for it to drop behind, and he's never going to score from there.
It was the first ever meeting between these two in the Premier League. Was the first ever game in the Premier League. Sheffield United beating Manchester United 2-1. Brian Deane was on the score sheet that day for the Blades, but Manchester United have never lost to Sheffield United in the Premier League since 92-93. Here's Harmer putting the ball into the box, looking for McBurney. Good bravery from Onana, clattered into his own player Johnny Evans in order to win the ball, and Evans has come off worse from having his goalkeeper climb all over him to get to the ball, but that was a good, confident claim by the United goalkeeper. 0-0.
Yeah, Harmer gets himself in a good position, and he's really clever with the ball. He has a look up, and he can see that McBurney's going to make that run in between the two centre-backs, and he goes for it. And Onana actually did really well, was brave, good goalkeeping. He's made a save already and claimed a couple of crosses, and that'll do him good.
Johnny Evans just slowly getting to his feet. He's not going to get any treatment from the Manchester United physios. We're seeing a lot less of that these days, because of course players know that once they've admitted a trainer onto the pitch to treat them, once they go off the field they have to wait 30 seconds before they're readmitted into play.
And also he's old school, Johnny Evans, you know, he doesn't really need, he just got clattered, probably a little bit winded, but he's alright, just holding on to his ribs.
His age matches his shirt, 35, Johnny Evans. Still really showing what a class defender he's always been at this level, both for his club and for his country, Northern Ireland, of course, where he won 104 caps for Northern Ireland. Re-signed in July to help bolster the defensive ranks. Both of these clubs have got huge problems in defence. We mentioned Martinez and Luke Shaw missing for Manchester United, but Sheffield United, goodness me, Egan out for the season, it looks. Basham out for the season.
And also, Dance, that affects Sheffield United miles more than it affects Manchester United in terms of the players of Premier League quality. I mean, Sheffield United may struggle in the Premier League with a full full complement. The squad stays fit all season, so they're really on the back foot when it comes to injuries. And I don't think the transfer window, I think, there's lots going on behind the scenes in terms of takeovers for both teams, but Sheffield United, I don't think they've just added enough quality to replace the likes of Njai. They lost in the summer. Yeah, Sander Berger in the summer, just a little bit of legs in midfield, and the likes of Harmer that's coming has had to hit the ground running, and Archer as well, and get themselves in this team at the same time as just trying to get points all the time. 19
minutes gone on Talksport, 0-0. Sheffield United have a free kick fired into the left-hand corner of the box. Up goes Evans bravely again for Manchester United, heads it out of play. It'll be a Blades throw, level with the Manchester United box. On this near side, the Tony Curry stand side, Jack Robinson is going to hurl it in, but not before Andre Onana needs a bit of treatment. And of course, when the goalkeeper gets treatment, he can stay on after he's been looked at by the physios, but he's just sitting.
I don't think there's much wrong with him, to be honest. I don't know whether they just want to get a message on, or whether Ten Hag wants to speak to the group. But this is usually what happens. You see it a lot nowadays. The goalkeeper goes down, it's like a timeout. Basically, managers can get information on, and both managers are calling their players over just to have a little chat.
Yeah, Eric Ten Hag gesticulating to get pretty much every Manchester United outfield player over to him so he can have a chat. Stuart McCall and Paul Heckingbottom too are having words.
Tell you what, Stuart McCall's hair was like that when I was about 10.
It's frightening, isn't it?
That is.
He's got the picture of Dorian Gray in his attic, hasn't he, Stuart McCall? He has not aged.
He looks like my cat. My cat's hair's like that.
Does your cat fall off car roofs like he did?
No.
It was a classic moment, wasn't it? Anyway, Onana's back on his feet, and we can resume play with this long throw for Sheffield United.
Something's going to happen where they're going to stop goalkeepers doing this, Dan, I'm telling you, because there's nothing wrong with Onana. He had a little bit of a word with Fernandes, and then we get back and playing again.
So it will be eventually play restarted with a long throw from Jack Robinson for Sheffield United. McBurney and Vinicius in the 6-yard box. That's where the ball's headed. Flicked on and flicked away by Manchester United, but it's kept alive by Luke Thomas on this near side for the Blades. Plays it infield to Robinson, tries to lob it back to Luke Thomas, does well actually. Thomas, he's into the area left hand side, skips away from Amrabat and then wins a corner off Diogo Dalot at the Bramall Lane end. First corner of the game goes to the Blades, 0-0.
Yeah, good driving run into the box from Thomas, and you just have to be wary against him as a defender, but I thought Dalot did really well. He guessed that when he was going to cross it and got the block in.
So Gus Harmer will take the corner kick where the Tony Curry meets the Bramall Lane. Right-footed in-swinger for Sheffield United. Flicked on and away to the middle of the Manchester United half, but Sheffield United have it again. Played up to the edge of the area, left-hand corner, James McAtee. Trying to spin away from Bruno Fernandes and get to the byline. Fernandes gets a foot in, but it's sent back to Harmer. Left-hand side of the area, rolls it across, and it's thumped away first time by Rasmus Højlund. Back helping out his defenders, 0-0.
They had opportunity then. McAtee had a great touch to bring it down. Harmer receives the ball. It's just about that final bit of quality that Sheffield United, and you can see why they've struggled. If you've not watched them, this is the first game you've watched them, they're all up and at it, high intensity, getting the ball forward, and then just that last bit of quality is missing.
Trusty goes up with Dalot and Winter throw on this near side. The American defender, who arrived in the summer from Arsenal, spent last season on loan at my club at Birmingham City, and was a bit of a hero, the American player, but he was always destined to either stay in the Premier League with Arsenal or get a move to another Premier League club. And here he is in possession for the Blades in the centre circle at 0-0, midway through the first half on Talksport. And now Jayden Bogle will nick the ball in field for former Manchester United trainee Oni Norwood.
Yeah, I mean, most of the players been with Sheffield United, but I think Manchester United are quite comfortable. I think Sheffield United are having it in areas that really don't hurt Manchester United, and it's about getting their counter right. I think Rashford sometimes holds onto the ball a little bit too long. He needs to move the ball quicker, because that's what will catch Sheffield United out of the back.
Harmer heads the ball in field to McBurney on halfway, who did get there ahead of Evans, and here's Cameron Archer skipping away from Bruno Fernandes, gets to the edge of the area, tries to drive it, it's saved by Onana, and Dalot puts it behind for a corner for Sheffield United, who are picking up a head of steam here at Bramall Lane, 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, that was a mistake at the back. I think it was Evans tried to go in, McBurney wins it before, and it just allows Archer to get in, and Onana again, this is full length save on the floor. He just had his defender just backing him up to just kick the ball out for a corner. What a terrific save that was from the Manchester United goalkeeper.
Strong wrist from Onana, but it is a corner for Sheffield United. Norwood to take it as he plays it short, just inside the area, gets it back from McAtee, works it back to Thomas, gives it back into the area looking for Norwood, but he was just off balance, couldn't collect the pass that was intended for him, and Manchester United cleared out to halfway, 0-0.
Yeah, trying to just work a clever short corner, but just losing possession. Sheffield United getting the ball back. Norwood, it looked really good until it sailed past Norwood, and Manchester United let off the hook again.
It's currently Sheffield United 0, Manchester United 0, and for the latest odds, head to Betfair, the official betting partner of Talksport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Sheffield United 4-1 to win, 13-5 the draw, Manchester United 10-7. So just a shade of odds against for Manchester United, I should say, to win. Don't forget, Betfair are paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute payout. That applies to match odds, 90 market, all markets with the 90 icon. That's all thanks to Betfair, 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. 25 gone, 0-0. Lucy Ward.
I think that if I was a Man United fan, I'd be watching this thinking, how are you allowing Sheffield United to have the majority of the ball? I know they're at home, but they hardly have a fair share of the possession, whether they're at home or away, and so you're basically giving them encouragement that they can get something from this game. I think it just needs somebody. There's just like a lack of leadership, somebody to get a grip of the game in this Manchester United team. Over-reliance on the likes of Bruno Fernandes to create something. If he's not created or he's snuffed out at the moment by Sousa, then they're not creating from anywhere.
Certainly Vinicius Sousa is tracking Bruno Fernandes as much as he can. 0-0. Let's quickly check in at the rugby semi-final at the World Cup. Andrew McKenna.
England 6, South Africa 3. 22.5 minutes on the clock, and England have been very good for their lead so far. South Africa have only just put their first points on the board. Marnie Libbuck's penalty, but it came after a penalty that was awarded, and Owen Farrell was chopsing at the referee so much he marched him back 10 metres. That took it into Libbuck's kicking range, and he's kicked the goal. Owen Farrell and the referee Ben O'Keefe have not got a great working relationship at the moment. England need to deal with that as much as anything else. England 6-3 up, but they've just been awarded another penalty.
Thanks, Macca. Sheffield United 0, Manchester United 0. Sheffield United clear. Claims for a foul on Harry Maguire on Cameron Archer. Nothing doing, said Michael Oliver. And then there was a sliding challenge from Vinicius Sousa on Harry Maguire, who's gone down and needs a bit of treatment right on this near touchline, it seems, as the ball was put out for a throw-in. We've played 27 minutes. And the former Blade, Harry Maguire, is in the wars. Now he's beckoned the physios to come and treat
himself there. Definitely, he was caught. His left standing leg. I'm just watching a replay of it. His standing leg was caught by Sousa and slid a little bit out of control. His leg wasn't up, but it's certainly just a little bit of a bend in that ankle, and they certainly feel that.
But the trainers were not on the field to apply the magic sponge, so we play on 11 against 11. Manchester United have a throw, 0-0, 27 gone. Anthony receives the throw on this near side, gives it back to Diogo Dalot, tries to play a 1-2 with Anthony, gets away, in behind Harmer, right hand side of the box, plays it across the area, and a flap from West Foderingham, and he got it half clear. Rashford picks it up by the corner flag left hand side, plays it back to Lindelof, edge of the area, into the feet of Bruno Fernandes, looking for Rasmus Højlund. It's in! Scott McTominay has done it again for Manchester United. 3 goals in 2 Premier League games. Scott McTominay scuffed the shot home, and Manchester United lead at Bramall Lane. And the Scot, who cannot stop scoring, has put Erik ten Hag's men ahead when Sheffield United couldn't clear their lines. Sheffield United 0, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, they've been a little bit sloppy, Sheffield United, in the last few minutes, but that's all about McTominay and his desire to win the ball. It sort of flicks up in the air. McTominay won it, he chested it down, and there's players around him, and he still manages to get it past Foderingham, and that is all about his desire to get a shot on goal. And from a Sheffield United point of view, it's a really poor goal to give away, particularly as they've had most of the possession, probably most of the territory as well, but it's about putting the ball in the back of the net. It's certainly what McTominay is doing lately.
Played both games for Scotland in the international break. Full 180 minutes of football for his country. Still looks fresh as a daisy as he comes back to his club. and puts Manchester United ahead on Talksport. But here comes Sheffield United. Archer trying a drive that's blocked just inside the area by Maguire as the Blades try and respond here. Suddenly it broke for Archer, 25 yards out, and he just tried a speculative effort.
Yeah, good strike, and it was blocked by Maguire. I mean, Manchester United have been second best in terms of the physical battle, but they made the most of that.
Bogle trying to get in behind Lindelof this time, but he hooks it out of play for a throw to Sheffield United on the far side of the field, level with the Manchester United 18-yard line. Jayden Bogle has gone to retrieve the ball. This is going to be launched into the Manchester United box, is it? No, it's gone short to Vinicius Souza. Back for Bogle, down the right flank for Vinicius, who gets the cross in, looking for Ollie McBurney, but it's a comfortable claim by Onana at his near post. So half an hour gone on Talksport. Manchester United lead at Bramall Lane, courtesy of Scott McTominay, with his third goal in 2 Premier League games, justifying his recall by Erik ten Hag. It's only his third Premier League start of the season. He seemed to be not necessarily in Erik ten Hag's thoughts at the start of the campaign, Lucy. Yeah,
they've not really got the centre midfield balance right, I don't think, this season, and I don't think this is a particularly good performance, and perhaps the goal is papering over the cracks, and obviously Sheffield United have not been that good in the Premier League this season, but maybe the goal will give them some confidence.
Here's McAtee for Sheffield United, right-hand corner of the box, goes down under pressure from Lindelof, who won it well, but his clearance only found Jayden Bogle. Vinicius tucks it back out to the Sheffield United right wing. McAtee sends the ball into the box, claims for handball, given. McTominay's given away a penalty. Not 2 minutes after he's put Manchester United ahead, Scott McTominay sticks out an arm. Michael Oliver pointed to the spot straight away. VAR, I'm sure, will take a look. John Brooks back at Stockley Park. Scott McTominay is holding his hands out, protesting his innocence, but it struck his arm, and he was a good 10 feet away from the ball when it was struck. And Michael Oliver did not hesitate, Lucy Ward, to give the penalty to Sheffield United.
He actually looked like he leaned into it as well. I mean, it was brilliant from the referee, because he was in a good position. He saw that he sort of leaned down into it. I think that McTominay thought that he was going to shoulder it down. I think that's what he originally thought. But because his arm's there, as soon as it does that, we know, whether we agree with the handball or not, we know that is going to be given as a handball.
Well, VAR is checking. That's what we have on the monitors on the big Jumbotron screen. Manchester United players protesting their case to Michael Oliver, who stood inside the 6-yard box just waiting for confirmation in his headset that the penalty can be awarded. And still we wait for a decision to be made by John Brooks and Akil Housen, who are the team.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at consistency, then we've seen a handball very similar already today, early in the Liverpool-Everton game. So I can't think for a minute, if you're consistent in terms of your officiating, that one is not going to be given. I mean, I don't particularly agree with that. I think that handball should be an intention to stop. I don't think there was. I think he went with his shoulder.
Yeah, penalty confirmed. It wasn't a clear and obvious error.
No,
even if we have any slight disagreement over the handball law.
I can't believe it took that long, to be honest. Great decision by Michael Oliver, and he took it straight away.
So, after all that, it's a penalty, and only now does Andre Onana decide it's time to take a drink of water outside his penalty box. He's going to get a yellow card for this if he's not careful. Now he's just kicking his boots against the foot of the post, and Michael Oliver has now gone right up to him and has told him, no more of that, please. Because Ollie McBurney is waiting to take this penalty kick in front of those travelling Manchester United fans in the Bramall Lane lower. A chance for Sheffield United to equalise. McBurney into the bottom corner. It's 1-1. Firmly struck by Ollie McBurney. It's 1-1 at Bramall Lane. And a bit of belief in this part of South Yorkshire. 1-1.
I'll tell you what, I've known Ollie McBurney since he was a young kid at Leeds. He was released at Leeds and he's come back to be a Premier League player, and there's no way on earth is Onana going to put Ollie McBurney off a penalty. And he just was cool as ice. He actually dived the right way, but far too much power right in the right hand corner as you look at it, and it's a great penalty.
Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1, and Ollie McBurney who's been here since 2019 when he joined from Swansea City. As Lucy rightly mentioned, he began his career at Leeds United. Not a shy lad, not backward in coming forward.
No, but I do think that he's backing up that with performances now. I think he's sorted himself out. He looks fit. He was struggling with injuries the last time they were in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I think he's been their standout player, Sheffield United, so far tonight. And he's got his goal. And I think that this is about right in terms of the performances of both teams. I think that Scott McTominay helped Man United out by getting that goal, but I think Sheffield United did deserve a goal for the pressure that they've had from the start of the game.
So it's all square on Talksport, and we've got just over 10 minutes to half-time. Diogo Dalot's just been fouled by Gus Harmer, so Manchester United have a free kick just shy of the halfway line that Amrabat is preparing to take. And Manchester United have sent plenty downfield in their dark green and white striped chain shirts. Amrabat finds Anthony on this near side, the right wing, with Manchester United attacking the Kop at Bramall Lane. Dalot tries to send a cross in from this near side, but Robinson blocks the cross. It comes back to Dalot again. He finds Lindelof, who's joining in right-hand corner of the box. Now Anthony into his captain Bruno Fernandes with his back to play. Down the right-hand side for Dalot. First time cross is very, very deep, but it will pick out Marcus Rashford, left-hand side near the touchline, level with the area. Up against Jayden Bogle, Marcus Rashford just takes the game down to walking pace, checks onto his right foot, runs away from the penalty area, forced back by Bogle, and then they have to go back all the way to Maguire on halfway. And this pass along halfway to this near touchline is kept in play by Bruno Fernandes. Neat 1-2 with Anthony. Manchester United keeping possession. 1-1 the score if you're just tuning in. Now Fernandes has given it away, but Lindelof will spare his blushes as McAtee looks to try and launch a Sheffield United counter from inside the centre circle, to throwing in the end to the blades on the far side of the field. 1-1. The tempo's suddenly gone up quite a few notches.
It certainly has, and the crowd's noise has gone up as well. I think when you're a team like Manchester United coming to Sheffield United, Ten Hag will be saying you've got to win the battle first, you've got to win the physical battle. I don't think they've been up for that, particularly Manchester United, and now the tails are up of Sheffield United.
Harmer finds McAtee at the edge of the area along the D, gives it back to Harmer, edge of the box, twisting and turning, tries to set up Cameron Archer inside the box, can't get the shot away. Manchester United gets shirts back, and nobody wanted to pull the trigger for Sheffield United, and now Manchester United win a free kick as Robinson gets a yellow card for hauling down Anthony.
I tell you what, it's a good job, Dance, that Sheffield United aren't on fire in front of goal, because they've got themselves into really good positions but just don't have that last pass, just don't have that quality in front of goal, because I think Manchester United will really be struggling.
Remember, it's the same Manchester United back four that played against Brentford, with Lindelof at left back, Maguire and Evans at centre half. Here's Sofian Amrabat, now playing in his accustomed defensive midfield position. He played at left back a few times earlier in the campaign for Manchester United. 1-1 the score, 8 minutes to half-time on Talksport. England leading South Africa in the Rugby World Cup semi-final. We'll check in with Macca for an update in just a moment. Meantime, here's Anthony for Manchester United. Down this near side, the right, attacking the Kop end. Clips the ball in left-footed. Rashford pops up at the far post, across the face of goal, and how on earth did Højlund not be able to turn that in from 2 yards out? He smacks the turf in frustration, Højlund. Lovely ball across the face of goal by Marcus Rashford. Cut everybody out, and Højlund sliding in, just couldn't connect, and it stays 1-1.
I tell you what, that was Anthony on the right side, cut inside on his left. A longer ball goes to the other wing at Rashford, and it's the first time just side-footed it across the front of goal, and Højlund's not really been in this game, and fair to him that he hasn't really had the service, but just a whisker away. And to be honest, that's the first bit of real quality in terms of movement and ball into the box that Manchester United have had.
You're listening to Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1 on Talksport with Now. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Sheffield United, Manchester United right now for £11.99. No contract. Search Now Sports. Ball's back at the feet of Andre Onana. So let's check in with the Rugby World Cup semi-final. England-South Africa. Andrew McKenna.
Half an hour played, in fact 33 minutes now. It's England 9, South Africa 3. Those 3 Owen Farrell penalties to 1 by Marnie Libbok, but Libbok has just been replaced after only 31 minutes of a semi-final. Not injured, South Africa have made a tactical change, a massive call taking off their playmaker and number 10. He's been replaced by Andre Pollard. The Springboks are clearly rattled. They have not got into this game at all. 6.5 to half-time. England 9-3 up.
McAtee goes down right-hand side for Sheffield United and wins a free kick. 1-1 here at Bramall Lane on Talksport with just less than 6 minutes to the break. Scott McTominay putting Manchester United ahead and then conceding the penalty with a handball inside his own penalty area. The penalty scored by Ollie McBurney, and now the Blades have a free kick out on the right-hand side. It's taken short for Gus Harmer, who joined in the summer from Coventry City. McAtee puts the ball into the Manchester United box, headed clear by Lindelof. Højlund holds it up well, midway point of his own half. And then Bruno Fernandes drives it up to halfway, but nobody there in a Manchester United striped shirt, so it's back with the red and white stripes of Sheffield United. Jack Robinson plays a square ball to Austin Trusty, just shy of the centre circle. To his right is Bogle, collects it now and hits it long down the inside right channel, looking, I think, for Ollie McBurney, but Johnny Evans comfortably got there first, and the ball's back with Andre Onana. Ian Danton, Lucy Ward with you this Saturday evening on Talksport.
Yeah, they're not really getting any sort of progression or build-up, Manchester United, through the middle. Amrabat, I think Johnny Evans a couple of times has stepped into midfield to try and overload Sheffield United, but they've not really got that sort of build-up. It's very, very congested in central areas, so the obvious space is wide, and they've just not used that enough, Manchester United.
Left-hand side for Manchester United, it's with Anthony who's gone on to that left-hand side just for a moment, switching his point of attack. Back with Diogo Dalot just ahead of the centre circle. Sheffield United got most players behind the ball. Anthony's still out on that left-hand side, skipping in field now. Hits the ball against Vinicius Souza as you try to thread it through the Ivan Needle to the edge of the area. Manchester United still have it. Lindelof now driving up to the edge of the area. McTominay lays it off. Ball sent into the box. Swing and a miss by Austin Trusty. Just skimmed off the outside of his boot. Fernandes tries to send it back into the Sheffield United box. It's cleared away, and Cameron Archer has won a 50-50 ball against Amrabat and is now moving away down the left-hand side. Comes in field, gets away from Bruno Fernandes. McBurney calling for it to his right. McBurney, 20 yards out, gives it back to Archer inside the area. Great block by Andre Onana, coming out to make the save. Goes out to the right-hand side, and Sheffield United have it again with McAtee. Gives it back to Vinicius Souza. Back out to the right-hand side, and it's sent back eventually to the halfway line, but it's given away. Anthony tries to release Rasmus Højlund down the inside left channel. Trusty goes with him. Højlund holding it up is then set upon by Vinicius Souza. Keeps possession, Højlund does well.
Yeah, that's good. Good from Højlund there. It's the first time they really had it into his fit. He's had a little run and he's kept the ball and he's got Manchester United up the pitch, dance, but the architects of their own downfall, Manchester United, I mean, they just ran into each other. I think Amrabat and I think it was Maguire ran into each other just before, and Archer ended up with a shot, and Onana again keeping them in the game.
Narrowed the angles well, Andre Onana, to keep it at 1-1 on Talksport as we approach half-time. We're in the 43rd minute here at Bramall Lane. There was good interplay there between Cameron Archer and Ollie McBurney to set up that chance. They're enjoying their strike force.
Yeah, I think they do work. I think that they've fitted together well since Archer came in that first game against Everton. He did well.
Here's Rashford down the left-hand side of the area, drills it across along the deck, only half cleared by Norwood. Amrabat gives it to Bruno Fernandes just by the D. Can't make room for a shot, but then he's fouled by Norwood and wins a free kick in prime position for Manchester United. 25 yards out, just to the left of centre. There'll be a few Manchester United players wanting a crack at goal from here. 1-1.
Yeah, he was tempted then, Norwood. He just didn't need to do it. He had a little bit of a nibble on Fernandes and managed to connect with the player as well, and you know what happens there. Fernandes goes down and referee's right there. You're not going to get away with that sort of challenge at the edge of the area.
Well, Bruno Fernandes is very carefully placing the ball down. Marcus Rashford standing just to his right behind the ball, but I think the captain is going to pull rank here and take the strike at goal. The Sheffield United wall is a 4-man wall just inside the penalty area. It's become a 5-man wall now. Bogle's gone to join it, but then he's moved away to try and keep an eye on McTominay. Fernandes with the effort, and it clips the top of the crossbar and goes over and into the Sheffield United fans in that cop stand away to our right. Goal kick, and he just clipped the top of the frame of the goal. Bruno Fernandes and strides back to the halfway line and waits for the goal kick. 1-1.
Foderingham was just watching that like everybody else in here was watching it. It's terrific technique from Fernandez, just slightly, probably 2 inches too high, hits the top of the crossbar, and a let-off for Sheffield United.
Goal kick for Foderingham, and you could throw a blanket over all the outfield players either side of the halfway line. They're all compressed within about 20 yards of one another. Bit of head tennis on halfway. Harmer hooks it over the top down the inside right channel. Anana started to come out to the edge of his area, then decided to stay at home. Sheffield United have won it back. Ollie Norwood, inside right channel, plays it in field to Harmer. Good ball down the right wing, asking Bogle to give chase, but that's equally good defending by Victor Lindelof at left back for Manchester United. And then Fernandez clears the ball down the left-hand touchline and finds Marcus Rashford, who got away from Vinicius, couldn't get away from Trusty, and has won a throw. 1-1 the score, as we're about to find out how many added minutes we'll have at the end of this first half. And a yellow card for Austin Trusty for a bit too much back chat to the referee, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of ball to Rashford is where Rashford excels. So that as soon as you win the ball back, you Manchester United, it's a tough game this. They've got themselves bogged down, Manchester United, but there are sort of simple little routes up the pitch, and one of them is Rashford just in behind there on that left-hand side for United, and then he has to deal with the ball and move it a lot quicker when he does get it.
Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. We've just moved into 6 minutes of minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half, live and exclusive on Talksport. Anthony for Manchester United, down the right wing, now finds Diogo Dalot level with the Sheffield United box. Amrabat keeps possession, works it back nearer to the centre circle, and Harry Maguire spreads play from right all the way out to that far left-hand side, and Marcus Rashford up against Bogle, goes on the outside of Bogle, plays it into the near post, and Norwood's there to clear it out of play for another Manchester United throw on that far side. 1-1.
Yeah, it's not the best ball in, but you've just got to get in front. McTominay, I think it was, just needed to just get in front of the first defender and could have got a little touch to that.
Ball's played back once again to Maguire, who didn't collect it properly, but has to trot back into his own half to retrieve possession. He was under no pressure from any Sheffield United player. And another lovely ball from Maguire finds Rashford once again down that Manchester United left. McAtee facing him up, so he plays it back up to square to Johnny Evans, back to the edge of the centre circle, and Harry Maguire, options left and right for Maguire, looks for Rashford once again, but this time it's picked off by the head of Vinicius Souza. McAtee keeps it in play, lobs it down to the halfway line, where it's collected this time for Manchester United by Johnny Evans. 1-1.
Yeah, the sat a little bit deeper now. Sheffield United, Manchester United have got control of possession, and Maguire, but that ball forward is always coming from Maguire. They're not really finding Amrabat in terms of his passes forward, and everywhere else there's just bodies everywhere, and it's very congested, particularly in those central areas. So they keep trying to find Marcus Rashford down that left-hand side as well, and he's been free a couple of times.
2 minutes of the minimum 6 have gone. Manchester United coming forward. It's 1-1 at Bramall Lane. Anthony plays it infield, looking for his captain Bruno Fernandes, but it's the other number 8 who gets the important touch, Gustavo Harmer, but then given away by Archer. Now Marcus Rashford picks it up at the edge of the area, checks it onto his right, shot's blocked, Højlund got the shot away. What a save by Wes Foderingham. It's gone behind for a corner. Hands belatedly went up from the Sheffield United players for offside. The flag never went up. Højlund just took an instinctive shot, prod if you like, towards goal from 6 yards out, and Foderingham stuck out a right glove and kept it out. 1-1.
He definitely wasn't offside, Højlund, and actually the big centre forward did really well. It ricocheted from a shot from Rashford, but the goalkeeper Foderingham did really well.
Corner from Bruno Fernandes, headed out by Ollie McBurney, but only as far as Anthony, right wing for Manchester United, right hand corner of the box. Again, McBurney gets the header clear, and then it's just volleyed downfield, hoofed downfield by Cameron Archer. Anywhere will do for Sheffield United.
Better from Manchester United in terms of the control that they've got of the game in the opposition half, and this is what you would expect. If you were a Manchester United fan, the last sort of 5 minutes is what you would expect from your team, that they have the ball, they have control of it in Sheffield United's half, but it's not always been like that, but it's getting better for Manchester United.
12-6 at half-time to England against South Africa in the Rugby Union World Cup semi-final. We'll check in with Andrew McKenna at half-time, but that's the score. All penalties as well, 4 for Farrell and 3 penalties for the South Africans. No tries yet. So 12-6 to England. England cricketers had a chastening day against South Africa in the cricket. awful day for the 50-over England white ball side, beaten by 229 runs by South Africa, who made 399 for 7. England 170 all out. 4 minutes of the minimum 6 have elapsed here at the end of the first half on Talksport. Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. Vinicius Souza gets a foot in to block Rashford, not once, not twice, but 3 times he did that. Then the ball's clipped into the box by Amrabat. Strong header cleared by Luke Thomas, the Leicester City loanee. And Dalot goes back to retrieve the loose ball on halfway for Manchester United. Looks for Højlund, and he's offside. Huge roar, almost as loud as a goal from the Sheffield United fans for that offside flag going up. Speaking of Leicester, that's where Luke Thomas is on loan. They're 5 points clear at the top of the Championship today. They won 3-1 at Swansea. Leeds went third after coming from 2-0 down to win 3-2 at Daniel Farke's old club, Norwich City at Carrow Road. Wayne Rooney's first game as Birmingham boss ended in a late 1-0 defeat at his mate Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough. That's now 6 wins on the spin for Borough. And the other side of Sheffield are still winless. Sheffield Wednesday, like United, haven't won in the league yet. They lost 1-0 to Watford today. Danny Raw's first game in charge. Free kick sent downfield by Wes Foderingham for Sheffield United. Trusty hits a half volley lob down the right hand side looking for McAtee. Evans will help it clear, but Vinicius Souza just knees it back to the halfway line. Bogle and Trusty do well between them to keep it away from Manchester United players. In steps Robinson to head it into Manchester United territory. Norwood cushions a volley ball downfield looking for Cameron Archer. He did well, and Ollie McBurney with his socks rolled down Steve Claridge style, if you remember that back in the day, tries to hustle his way down the Sheffield United right, but Manchester United win it back. Rashford has it again down the left hand side. McTominay making a forward run, but across came Robinson and slid and made an excellent challenge, again greeted with a huge roar by the Kop faithful to our right. Throw to Manchester United, and we're in the last minute of minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half. 1-1.
Yeah, great last-ditch defending from Robinson, and that again, McTominay just drags himself forward, drags Man United up the pitch.
And that is it for the end of the first half, which, as you can hear, is being warmly received by the Sheffield United faithful as the players make their way to the tunnel down beneath us. Scott McTominay gave Manchester United a lead in the first half. His third goal in 2 Premier League games for the club, scuffing the ball home after the ball wasn't properly cleared from a right-wing cross by the Sheffield United defence. That was on 28 minutes. But within 6 minutes of that, McTominay had conceded a penalty for a handball inside the box from a right-wing cross. That offence was punished by Ollie McBurney's penalty for his second goal of the season in the Premier League. And so, Lucy Broad, just briefly at the break, it's all square.
Yeah, I think Sheffield United will be pleased with their contribution. I think they're at high intensity, lacking a little bit of quality, but from a Manchester United point of view, it was particularly poor. They got sucked into a scrap, which is what you don't want to do against a team like Sheffield United, because they'll beat you at scraps. And I think that they're fully justified to be on equal terms at half-time, Sheffield United.
Manchester United have yet to win back-to-back Premier League games this season. They're going to have their work cut out if they're going to achieve it this evening, because Sheffield United enjoyed portions of that half. It's all square though at the break here at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1.
Thank you very much, both of you. A fascinating 45 minutes of football. We'll analyse that first half at Bramall Lane very shortly, but let's head to Paris and find out how England are getting on in their Rugby World Cup semi-final against South Africa. It's a rerun of the last World Cup final, in fact. England aiming to face New Zealand in next week's final. No one expected any of them to get this far in the tournament as a team in transition under Steve Borthwick, but they're 40 minutes from a second successive final. Andrew McKenna, you've been watching this one for Talksport. How did that first half go?
Well, it went considerably better than the Japan final 4 years ago did, Faye, if I'm being brutally honest. England were blown away that day, but a first 40 that couldn't have gone much better for them. 4 Owen Farrell penalties to 2 South African penalties means it's 12-6 at the break. They were 6-0 up inside of 9 minutes. South Africa then got 2 penalties on 14 minutes and 15 minutes when they decided to kick to touch rather than take the shot at goal. They went for the tries, and on both occasions they were turned over. They got on the board thanks to a penalty from Manie Libbok on 20 minutes. Farrell negated that on 23, so that was 9-3. And then on half an hour, South Africa clearly did not like the look of what they were seeing, and Manie Libbok, the playmaker, was hauled off to put Andre Pollard on, the man who plays his rugby at Leicester Tigers at the moment. The fact that his forwards in front of him were getting absolutely beaten up makes it very difficult for the 10, but South Africa decided they were going to haul him off. Pollard got on the score sheet after only 3 minutes to make it 9-6, and Farrell, with a penalty 2 minutes before the break, makes it 12-6. Why is that lead at half-time so significant? Well, of the last 11 matches between these two countries, the team ahead at half-time have won 10 of them. So this is not a game or a match that you like to be chasing. England are ahead. There's been a real reaction to them. It's not pretty, but it's damn effective, it's got to be said. 12-6 at the break in the World Cup semi-final.
I don't care, pretty or not. I'd love to see them get through to the final. None of us expected that. Exciting times. 40 minutes for England to push through and try and make the final against New Zealand next week. We'll have more updates from Andrew McKenna throughout the show. But back to Bramall Lane. Lucy Ward, part of our commentary team there. And it was pretty much the Scott McTominay show, but for two very different reasons, Lucy, wasn't it? Half-time, and it's Sheffield United won, Manchester United won. But, I mean, it was very much against the run of play that United took the lead, and it was a scuffed shot. But it feels like he's really proving his doubters wrong in the goal-scoring stakes anyway, maybe not in the handball stakes.
I think that Manchester United fans would never thought that they'd say that they hope that McTominay's goals don't dry up and when they're looking at this squad. But fair play to him, he's come into the team and he's made his mark, and you know, he just plays with that energy, and he's prepared to commit himself into the box. And you know, I probably a little bit unlucky. It definitely was a penalty, but you know, he went to try and sort of stop the cross. But I think, to be fair, Sheffield United deserved to be at least on level terms. I'm not sure. I think if I was a Manchester United fan, I wouldn't be happy watching that. I don't think that there's been that much quality. They shouldn't be coming here and Sheffield United dominating possession. You've got to have a little bit more control than that. They got sucked into a scrap, and when you do that against a team fighting near the bottom, then they're going to beat you in a scrap. And I think that's what's happened up until the sort of last few minutes of the half, where Manchester United just got a little bit more control further up the pitch, and it just allowed them to sort of pick some of those passes out. But Sheffield United defended really well in those moments.
How much did Paul Heckingbottom's tactical change of going from a 3 at the back to a back 4 make a difference for them?
I think that I think he's done it because he doesn't have enough centre backs. I mean, he literally those are the ones that are playing that can play, and I think they do actually look quite comfortable. That I think that Thomas at left back is getting himself forward when he can. I think that they're trying to pack the sort of midfield area. But I think the thing that Sheffield United are doing well is that they're getting bodies around Ollie McBurney. So when they get the ball into him, then McAtee's there because he's prepared to jump into that final line. Cameron Archer works really well with McBurney, and they've got themselves up the pitch in that way quite a few times, and probably created the better chances than Manchester United. But I just think they're lacking that little bit of quality once they get in those sort of areas.
Yeah, it's all set up for a fantastic second half. You're listening to Game Day exclusive on Talksport. I hope you're enjoying this late Saturday night kickoff. It's finely poised. Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. Second half action coming next.
Game Day live on Talksport with Now. Stream the Premier League live without a contract from $11.99. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
The football season is well and truly underway with Betfair. And if you're looking to get involved in all the action, then look no further. At Betfair, we've made it faster and easier to build your ACCA this football season. Celebrate this weekend with a completely free ACCA or Bet Builder on football. Betfair.
Opt-in and previous deposit required. Max free bet varies from £1 to £10 per customer. Minimum odds of 1.5 on minimum one leg. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
You'll only remember that sound if you're from the 90s, a time when the World Wide Web was still taking off. Dial-up was the thing, and McDonald's started cracking only free-range eggs, fresh every day, to use in all our McMuffins. It's just one of the little changes McDonald's have been constantly making to the way we source our food over the years. McDonald's. Change a little, change a lot.
Rodri to De Bruyne, flicked on to Walker. Goal! No one saw that coming.
Or as we say in Japan, no warutaka wa tsume o kakusu. The smart hawk hides its talents. For a taste beyond expected, Asahi Super Dry, official beer partners of Manchester City. Enjoy responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk.
With the transfer window closed, it's now properly game on. Get the ultimate football coverage with the Sun's free pull-out goals. With the best writers pitchside for in-depth match reports, it's all about goals. And with unrivaled news from the Premier League to League Two, it has to be goals. Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday only in the Sun.
Y'all ready for something new? Just eat. Oh, you thought it was just burgers and fries. They got more flavors than you tasted or you heard in your life. Yummy. And it ain't only restaurants anymore. We can go bananas at the grocery store. I'm a bad girl, but my takeout better. What you need, dude? I could cop a taco platter. And my sushi train is on loop. When you're this slick, what you gon' do? Did somebody say just eat?
Running low on rule plugs? Going through cutting discs on the double? With Screwfix Trade Bulk Save, you can get up to 10% off the stuff you use the most. Buy more and save more on thousands of products. From everyday essentials like sealants to switches and sockets. And with Click and Collect, you can get what you need in as little as 1 minute. Shop now on the app at screwfix.com or in store. Screwfix, the choice of champions. T's and C's apply. Visit screwfix.com for full details.
It's time to travel through the Stargate to the live football universe. Game day.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker.
Game day exclusive.
On Talksport.
McBurney looking to release Cameron Archer, left-hand corner of the area, tries to tee it back up for McBurney, only half cleared. Gustavo Harmer tries a shot, blocked by the arm. McBurney drives it straight at Onana, who plunged down to his left and made the save, and the flag had stayed down as Ollie McBurney suddenly was presented with the ball via a ricochet. Picks it up by the corner flag left-hand side, plays it back to Lindelof, edge of the area, into the feet of Bruno Fernandes, looking for Rasmus Højlund. It's in! Scott McTominay has done it again for Manchester United. Chance for Sheffield United to equalise. McBurney into the bottom corner. It's 1-1. Firmly struck by Ollie McBurney. It's 1-1 at Bramall Lane. And a bit of belief in this part of South Yorkshire. 1-1.
This is Game Day exclusive on Talksport. Faker Others with you. Second half action from Bramall Lane coming up shortly. All to play for, as Dan said there, with the score Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. Let's get the latest odds from Betfair, the official betting partner of Talksport's Premier League coverage.
Game day on Talksport with Betfair. Get a hand from Betfair's popular bet builder and easily add our fan favourite football selections to your bet slip. Terms and conditions apply. See support.betfair.com. 18+ begambleaware.org.
1-1 at the break. Alex, boys, how are the odds looking?
Yeah, thanks, Faye. They're well in this game, Sheffield United, aren't they? They've been brilliant in that first half. They're 11-2 to come out and win this second half. I mean, they've had more shots on target. They've got a very similar open play XG, and they've had more corners, so it wouldn't be that surprising, you have to say, based on that first half. The draw is 23-10, whilst Man United remain the odds-on favourites at 8-13 to come out and win this game. Quickly looking at the players, Bruno Fernandes, he hit the bar with that free kick, didn't he? Very unlucky. And if this game does open up, you expect a few more opportunities coming his way. He's been boosted to 7-2 to score in the second half on the Betfair Sportsbook, whilst Harry Maguire, he's committed a couple of fouls in that first half. If the game continues in the same vein, he could be booked. If you roll them two into a double, you'll get odds of 18 to 1 on the Betfair Sportsbook.
Lovely stuff. Thank you very much, Alex. That odds update, all thanks to Betfair, returns accurate as of 10 minutes ago. For verification, see betfair.com. Over 18s only. Conditions apply. Go to begambleaware.org.
Game day on Talksport with Betfair. Get a hand from Betfair's popular bet builder and easily add our fan favourite football selections to your bet slip. Terms and conditions apply. See support.betfair.com. 18 plus begambleaware.org.
Second half action a couple of minutes away here on Talksport, though. We've been reflecting on the sad passing of Manchester United and England legend Sir Bobby Charlton. And earlier on the full-time phone-in with Gabby Agbonlahor and Jamie O'Hara, you paid your own tributes to one of the greatest players ever produced in this country.
I'm a lifelong Manchester United fan, right? This is so sad today, but it comes to everybody. We all know it comes to everybody. And hopefully Manchester United are going to retire the number 9 shirt, because I can't think of anything else I want to see happen.
I'm actually named after Sir Bobby. My middle name's Robert. My dad was a massive United fan when he was younger, and you know, it's emotional for me as well.
One thing I've always noticed, whenever you watch a player, always see if he's left or right footed. But with that guy, he was just equal.
So I wrote a letter to Sir Bobby, and I got a letter back a week later, a personalised letter, and he said, "Jimmy, what a wonderful letter."
And he was absolute master. He'd been absolutely brilliant. There couldn't have been no one better. He's a perfect Man United player. Whoever else we get, he'll be there. He's absolutely the best we've ever had. The best we'll ever be.
Oh, some real wonderful memories there. He meant so much to so many of you, and we're here with you until 11 p.m. tonight to look back on all the day's Premier League action and also to reflect on the magnificent career of Sir Bobby Charlton. Get your calls in early to have a chat and tell us all of your memories of the great man. We'll be taking them after the conclusion of this match. The number, of course, 03717 223344. I'm sure Manchester United would love to pay their own tribute to the great man by taking all 3 points at Bramall Lane. Second half action about to kick off. Your commentary team, a former Leeds United striker Lucy Ward alongside Ian Danter.
Thanks, Faith. The Manchester United players are already out, maybe with a flea in their ear from their manager, I don't know, because the Sheffield United players are only now just emerging from the tunnel down beneath us in this Tony Curry South Stand. Well, Sheffield United before tonight had faced 176 shots in 8 Premier League matches. And Hull City are the only team that better that in recent years. They'd faced 184 by that point in the 2016-17 season. But so far tonight, Lucy Ward, they've restricted Manchester United by and large. Only 6 efforts tonight from the Red Devils. And as our betting expert was saying, just there's 7 efforts at goal from Sheffield United, conversely.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've done well. I think that they've done okay when they've lost possession. They've got back into a little block that's stopped Manchester United for the most part. But they just need a little bit more confidence when they're building up around the edge of the area. And you know, you can understandably, they don't have that much confidence when they get into the final third because they've not scored that many goals and they're not winning in the Premier League. So that will come, but big result tonight if they can beat Manchester United, but a long way to go so far.
Yeah, Ollie McBurney getting his first Premier League goal of the season to bring us level at the break. And we're back underway on Talksport with Manchester United in their change strip tonight, the dark green and white striped shirts with white shorts and socks. They're heading for the Bramall Lane end to our left. That's where the Manchester United fans are tonight. Sheffield United in their traditional first choice colours of red and white stripes, black shorts and socks. They're heading for the Kop end to our right hand side. I'll run you through the lineups in just a moment. In fact, I'll do it now with Manchester United in possession. Sheffield United following them in goal: Bogle, Trusty, Robinson, Thomas, Sousa, Norwood, Harmer, McAtee, Archer and McBurney. For Manchester United, Onana in goal, Dalot, Maguire, Evans, Lindelof, McTominay, Amrabat, Rashford, Fernandes, Anthony and Højlund. And here is Marcus Rashford in this first minute of the second half for Manchester United. Great skill to get into the area. Couldn't quite get past Jayden Bogle. It looked for a second as though he was going to get clear inside the box. but it was cleared away by Sheffield United, and they've won themselves a throw in their right-back position, 1-1.
Yeah, that's certainly a route in for Manchester United. We saw it a few times in the first half, getting the ball to Marcus Rashford and then just see whether he can cut inside, but they've defended that quite well, Sheffield United. I think that Manchester United just need to probably when they get in those positions, take more shots, because when they do that, it makes Sheffield United defend a little bit different. They'll come out and block if they think that Manchester United are going to shoot, and then that's when the space opens up. That does happen. To take more shots, you actually make the defending team come out and try and block, and opens up holes for you to just pass for the likes of Fernandes to pass into.
Fodringham's goal kick sent downfield. Austin Trusty tries to head the ball on, looking for Cameron Archer, but it's Johnny Evans on the scene for Manchester United. Finds Amrabat, who's dropped deeper between the two centre-halves just for a moment. Gives the ball out left to Johnny Evans, and then out to this near touchline and Rashford. Lindelof trying to set Højlund away in the inside left channel, but Trusty read that, and Sheffield United get it clear. McAtee got away with a slightly lazy flick in field, but Lindelof couldn't control it.
Yeah.
Sheffield United throw.
Lindelof is just trying to overload in those central areas, so from that left-back position, when Manchester United have got it, Amrabat drops between the two centre-backs, faces the press, and then Lindelof goes in that sort of inside left channel and tries to overload Sheffield United.
McAtee wins the ball back and finds McBurney. Now Harmer in the centre of the Manchester United half, gives it back to McBurney, right hand side of the area. Angle was closing up, he couldn't get the shot away, but Sheffield United still have it. McAtee, right hand corner of the box, lays it off to the edge of the area. Norwood just over the bar, tipped over by Onana for a corner kick to Sheffield United. The former Manchester United trainee so nearly put the Blades in front. 1-1.
Yeah, that's better from Sheffield United, and to be fair, Onana has kept his team in this game for Manchester United, because that's a terrific shot from Norwood. I think it was always rising, perhaps it wouldn't have ended up in the back of the net, but the goalkeeper wouldn't be so short.
Harmer's gone across to take the corner at the Kop end, whipped into the near post and flicked out for another corner off a Manchester United head. I think it was Lindelof who got the touch at the near post, so now the corner is on the Sheffield United right, where the Kop meets the Tony Curry stand. 1-1.
Yeah, good start to the second half from Sheffield United, just trying to put pressure on Manchester United.
Norwood with the right-footed out-swinging corner to around the penalty spot, but there's a foul, or the corner kick cannot be taken again, because Michael Oliver was spotting some pushing and shoving just as Norwood was coming up to address the ball, and he's having a chat with Trusty and with Johnny Evans. Trusty, remember, was booked in the first half of the game, and Evans and Trusty being spoken to at length by the referee, who then sends them away, and Norwood can now take this corner kick at the second time of asking. Floats it deep to the far post. Nobody there in a red and white shirt though, and Maguire, who used to wear the red and white, will just let the ball drift out of play for a Manchester United throw. Deep in their own half though, in their right back position. 1-1 the score.
Yeah, good pressure from Sheffield United. At Manchester United, the only options they have at the moment is Fernandes just trying to play a killer ball through, or getting a long ball to Rashford, and because Luke Shaw doesn't play, he doesn't get in as good positions. Rashford, Shaw will get up and back him up. Lindelof obviously is not a natural left back, so it basically means that Rashford's got to either beat his marker and put a cross in, or a shot, or that's it, because there's nobody overlapping. You know, like Shaw plays so well with Rashford, and he's been a massive miss from that left back position.
1-1 here on Talksport, and I think there's some activity on the Sheffield United bench. Rhian Brewster's coming on in a second. I did see him deep in conversation with Paul Heckingbottom down beneath us just a few moments ago, and Brewster, who's been so starved of football since coming here, his big money move from Liverpool, injuries have hampered his progress, but he's about to be introduced in this second half. We'll find out shortly who for, but Manchester United are in possession. 5 minutes gone of the second half. 1-1. Amrabat on halfway. Plays the ball into out to the right-hand side. Looking for Dallo, who tried to bring it down. He sort of did, but the ball skipped off the end of his toe and out for a Sheffield United goal kick. And here comes the change. And Ollie McBurney is having to go off. And I can only assume, Lucy Ward, that Ollie McBurney has picked up some sort of knock or injury and cannot continue, because he was causing Messrs Maguire and Evans plenty of problems for Sheffield United tonight.
Yeah, I think he's Sheffield United's best player. That's a big blow, because when Sheffield United defenders have a little look up, that's who they see, Ollie McBurney, and they get the pass into him, and he doesn't lose it. He protects the ball, he gets them up the pitch, and obviously scored the goal as well. This is a big loss, because now they've basically got two small men. So they've got Archer and they've got Brewster, and that is a big loss, Dance. Yeah. And when games are right in the balance, and you're a team like Sheffield United and you're struggling at the bottom, that's what you don't want to see.
Made 30 league appearances in the last 2 seasons, Rhian Brewster, as he tries to get some consistency to his performances. Hasn't scored in the Premier League, and he's on for Ollie McBurnie. We played 6 minutes of the second half on Talksport. Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. Palmer down the left hand side, looks for Brewster, holds the ball up 25 yards out, turns, gets the shot away. Oh, it deflected. Anana can only half save it. And was there a push on a Sheffield United player? McAtee was running in, Maguire went in on him, but the ball was well away from both of them, in fairness. And now Manchester United counter, Rashford going through the middle, but out comes Fotheringham to the edge of his area and clears downfield. And that all came from Rhian Brewster suddenly getting involved and taking a pot shot from fully 30 yards out.
I'll tell you what a shot that was from Bruce. I think that was probably one of his first touches since he came on. And again, Anana, some of the saves that he's made just to keep his team on level terms have been unbelievable, and it just exploded into life for about 30 seconds a game, and it ended with Rashford running through like a steam train, but Fotheringham quick off his line.
You're listening to Talksport, our third live Premier League commentary of the day. Earlier in the Merseyside derby, Liverpool ended up beating 10-man Everton 2-0. And then over on Talksport 2 at 3 o'clock, a thumping good win for Newcastle United to set themselves up for Borussia Dortmund in the week in the Champions League. 4-0 winners against Crystal Palace. Big win for Gary O'Neill, taking Wolves back to his old club Bournemouth and winning 2-1 this afternoon. Now Manchester United coming forward with Anthony down the right-hand side of the Sheffield United box. Lays it off to Dalot. First time ball to the far post, looking for Fernandes. Jayden Bogle and Austin Trusty between them, head it out of the penalty area, but it's with Manchester United again. Fernandes, 30 yards out, finds McTominay at the edge of the area, trying to turn and get it onto his left, and it's deflected behind for Manchester United's second corner of the game, 1-1.
Yeah, desperate defending at times from Sheffield United. But Manchester United have got themselves a corner, and just not really enough conviction as the ball enters the box from a Manchester United point of view.
Short corner taken by Fernandes, who gets it back from Rashford. Now rolls it infield to Amrabat. Amrabat's early ball into the box, and it's cleverly left by Jack Robinson, who got the call from his goalkeeper, just let it whiz past him and behind for a goal kick. We're just seeing a replay of the sort of arm in the back from Harry Maguire on James McAtee. What do you make of that challenge? Because watching it again, Lucy Ward.
Yeah, I mean, they were both in the air and McAtee had already jumped, and Maguire will say that he eased him out of the way. I don't think there was enough in it, to be honest, for it to be
There was an immediate turn of the head from Maguire towards where Michael Oliver was.
I can imagine.
Let's get back to Paris and the Rugby World Cup semi-final, England-South Africa. Andrew McKenna.
51 played, it's still as it was at half-time, 12-6 in favour of England. South Africa, though, have made 7 of their 8 substitutions. So unhappy are they with the way that they're playing. Rassie Erasmus completely ringing the changes, and he's just got the coaches in together in the coaching box to explain how they want it all to happen. No change in the second half. England still 12-6 up and half an hour away from a World Cup final.
Well, it's still 1-1 here, but very nearly a huge problem caused at the back by Sheffield United. Fotheringham thought he was passing the ball to Austin Trusty, who didn't know the ball was coming his way. It dribbled outside the box. Rashford ran onto it, looked for Højlund, but his shot was saved by Fotheringham.
Why did Rashford not hit that? You know why Rashford didn't hit that? Because he doesn't feel confident in his skin at Manchester United. He did really well for England. We saw a great goal. If he'd have struck it like that, it'd have been in the back of the net in no time. He was actually handed onto a plate, but he just gave it past it, and the chance had gone.
You're listening to Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1 on Talksport with Now. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action, like Villa against West Ham, live tomorrow for £11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. Andre Onana's getting a load of noise from the Kop end just behind him, because he's taking his time over this free kick, which he eventually does take for Harry Maguire. Our next live football's Monday night game night on Talksport. London derby, Spurs against Fulham. Our coverage starts from 7 o'clock. Adrian Durham Sam Matterface and Ali McCoist alongside Sam. So you get double McCoist. He's doing breakfast with Andy Townsend Monday morning 6 till 10, and then he heads off to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But then, who could ever get enough of Ali McCoist? But you got no choice on Monday. Double shift Ali. 1-1 here. Manchester United coming forward with Anthony, right-hand corner of the area, drives it in near post, headed out by Robinson for a throw to Manchester United. Over on the far side of the field, going to be taken quickly by Dallo, looks for Anthony, has to scamper back towards the halfway line to keep possession for his team. And then Bruno Fernandes with a neat ball back out to Anthony on that right-hand touchline in front of the John Street stand. Looked to get the ball on the underlap for Diogo Dallo, but there was a Sheffield United boot to put it out for a throw.
Yeah, they're at full tilt defending Sheffield United, just trying to just quell any sort of pressure that's coming from Manchester United. I think the way in for Man United is just to hold the width. Anthony and Rashford to hold the width, try and stretch this game out and create those little pieces of space that the likes of Fernandes and McTominay could get into.
Rashford in possession for Manchester United. Gives the ball to Fernandes, midway point of the Sheffield United half. Fires it early out to the far right-hand side, and Anthony trying to get the better of Harmer. But the Dutchman stuck to his task well for Sheffield United. Cameron Archer fires the ball against Amrabat and Maguire, who again getting a bit of a mix-up, and Sheffield United are presented with a throw on halfway. And then it's won back by Anthony. Poor defending by Luke Thomas. And Anthony plays the ball in field. Bruno Fernandes at the edge of the area. Sets up Rashford wide of the post. Big chance, Marcus Rashford at the edge of the 6-yard box. Took it first time as he had to, but he put it the wrong side of the post from Manchester United's perspective. And it's a Sheffield United goal kick, and it stays 1-1 on Talksport.
Yeah, Anthony just nicked the ball, and Sheffield United out of shape. It's moved across the pitch eventually to Rashford, who side-footed it with his left foot, and it was just wide. But they're basically relying on each other to have a shot. And Fernandes, he probably could have had a shot at that time, but he sees Rashford in a better position, but the ball doesn't end up in the back of the net.
As you mentioned, scored against Italy for England live on Talksport in the week, Marcus Rashford, but he's only got one Premier League goal so far this season. That was against Arsenal in that 3-1 defeat that Manchester United suffered early on in the campaign. So it stays one apiece here. Very sad day for Manchester United fans. We will continue to take your personal tributes to the late great Sir Bobby Charlton, who passed away at the age of 86. And we're taking your calls through to 11, so you can get your calls in. We would love to hear from you and your stories about whether you met Sir Bobby, watched him play, ever encountered him when he was director at Manchester United, and what a great ambassador he was. Tell us your story. 03717 223344. Faker Others and Lucy Ward, who's alongside me tonight, will stay on air till 11 o'clock to take your calls on Sir Bobby Charlton on what's a very, very sad day for Manchester United and for the world of football in general. We've lost a colossus, an absolute titan of this beautiful game that we all love. And you go a long way to find anybody who didn't love Bobby Charlton, no matter what colour shirt you wore. Throw into Manchester United as we approach the hour mark on Talksport. It's going to be taken by Victor Lindelof. It's only 10 yards from the dead ball line on this near side, with Manchester United attacking the Bramall Lane end away to our left. Looking for an option. Højlund has come short, so too is Bruno Fernandes down by the corner flag. Keeps it in play, tight to the touchline, rolls it back 5 yards to Marcus Rashford. And Rashford elects to go further back towards Harry Maguire, just inside the Sheffield United half. Fernandes plays a neat ball down the left-hand side of the box, but Lindelof is offside, so that'd be a free kick. I should remind you, Adrian's going to be at Old Trafford as well on Tuesday. Adrian Durham hosting our Champions League coverage. He'll be there for Manchester United against FC Copenhagen. Our live games on Tuesday: Sevilla against Arsenal. That's on Talksport with Sam Matterface and Scott Minto. I'll be at the King Power Stadium for EFL commentary on Talksport 2 with Dean Ashton. Leicester, who are top of the Championship, take on Sunderland on Tuesday night. That's our Talksport 2 offering. And the whole thing gets underway on Champions League nights, Tuesday and Wednesday, 6 o'clock on Talksport 2 as we start the build-up. Talksport joins in the fun at 7. 1-1 here at Bramall Lane. Højlund and Trusty Both go for the same ball. Trusty got himself back onto the pitch on this near side to find Gustavo Harmer. Harmer, the ball over the top, looking for Cameron Archer down the left-hand side of the area. Gets there ahead of Diogo Dalot. Now Dalot's holding him up. Archer gets to the left-hand corner of the area, rolls it back 15 yards or so for Vinicius Souza. Harmer takes over once more. Good run from Gustavo Harmer. Tried to find Archer, but the ball came off his heel, and then Vinicius Souza chops down Anthony. That surely is going to be a yellow card for Vinicius Souza for that challenge on Anthony, who's gone to ground inside his own half.
I tell you what, the Sheffield United players have taken it in turns to absolutely clatter Anthony at any stage during today's game, and Souza's made probably about 3 or 4 crunching tackles, but that's enough for the referee, that one. Oh, yellow card.
And Erik ten Hag has seen enough in terms of certain aspects of his team's play, because he's readying Alejandro Garnacho and Christian Eriksen as a double Manchester United change here with 62 minutes gone. In fact, a triple change. Martial's going to come on as well, I think. Long ball downfield looking for Bruno Fernandes, who tries to send the ball into the area from the left-hand side. It's only half cleared by Sheffield United, but they've got enough players back. Harmer, what a touch to take away from Amrabat, but the whistle had already gone for a foul on a Sheffield United player inside the box.
That's nearly calamity defending from Sheffield United. They nearly gave the ball back and made a mess of it, Fernandes, and nearly gave him the ball back to have another goal.
So here comes the triple change, and Anthony Martial is coming on first things first. He's coming on for Rasmus Højlund. Now you can hear a few boos. I don't know whether that's the Manchester United fans who disapprove of that particular withdrawal to take off Højlund. Still hasn't scored in the Premier League. Scott McTominay makes way for Eriksen. Well, you can hear what they make of that. The idea of their goal scorer being taken off, the Manchester United fans. Eriksen, though, is on for McTominay. Now, who's coming on for Garnacho? It's Anthony, who's just been, as Lucy Ward so beautifully described, clattered into a number of times tonight. So he is off, and Alejandro Garnacho is on. Interesting response from the Man United fans away to our left of those changes, Lucy Ward.
Yeah, something needs to happen. They're not quite clicking, Manchester United. I cannot understand why Mason Mount's on the bench. I really can't. I think he's probably been one of the best performing centre midfielders, in terms of getting the ball. He's a good passer of the ball. But Eriksen, he might add a little bit more calm than what's happened already.
So that triple change for Manchester United done. Offside against Cameron Archer as Foderingham sent the ball downfield. You're listening to Talksport, Game Day exclusive, our third live Premier League commentary of the day across our network. And it's Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. Johnny Evans for Manchester United. Trots up towards the halfway line. Puts the ball on his left foot and floats the ball, looking for Bruno Fernandes, headed away by Vinicius Souza, who's pretty much tracked Bruno Fernandes all night. Brewster goes to ground under pressure from Evans. Amrabat picks up the ball in the centre circle for Manchester United, works it right to Dalot. Now back in the centre circle, Eriksen strokes it neatly left for Johnny Evans. Moves to the midway point of the Sheffield United half, lays it off to Eriksen, who's immediately set upon by Ryan Brewster. But he just calmly sends the ball back to Amrabat on halfway. Now Harry Maguire moving at pace into the Blades half, then checks his run, checks inside and gives it back to Amrabat. Very patient from Manchester United at this point. Evans again, just ahead of the halfway line.
They've been pushed back, Sheffield United, and when they do win it back, they've got nobody to pass the ball into because of McBurney going off, and both Brewster and Archer, as soon as they get the ball, will just turn the back and run and try and stretch play. And sometimes you just need a pass into.
Ball sent down the Manchester United left, but it's one back for Sheffield United by Jayden Bogle. Now James McAtee can scamper over the halfway line on this near side, the right, skips infield, plays a square ball to Gustavo Harmer, approaching the edge of the area, urged to shoot, does, and gets it wrong. It's over the bar by a good 3 or 4 yards. Paul Heckingbottom applauds that, and a thumbs up for James McAtee as well from his manager. Manchester United goal kick, 1-1 it stays.
Yeah, McAtee did really well, and just a couple of Manchester United players trying to challenge him. Johnny Evans being the last, just dangled his foot, and Harmer just got a little bit carried away in front of goal, and he needed to have a bit more of a cooler head.
That's Lucy Ward, the former Leeds United striker. You can hear alongside me Ian Tanter here at Bramall Lane. As away down the right-hand side goes Diogo Dalla for Manchester United. Has he won a corner? He has at the Bramall Lane end. So a chance for Manchester United to apply some pressure. England now leading 15-6 with 20 minutes to go in the World Cup semi-final. And a drop goal from Owen Farrell, as well as the penalties that he scored, have increased that score margin. New Zealand awaiting the final next weekend, of course. Here's a Manchester United corner as we approach the midway point of the second half. Right-footed into the near post, headed away by Oliver Norwood. Comes out to Eriksson, right-hand corner of the box. Floats a ball to the far post looking for Rashford, who's gone down holding his head. Amrabat goes for goal, crashes against the angle of post and bar from 25 yards out. Fernandes goes for goal, just wide of the post, and it'll be a goal kick. Rashford is still down holding his head inside the penalty area, but Sofian Amrabat let fly from just outside the area. Foderingham was nowhere near it, and it crashed against the angle of post and bar and stayed out. 1-1.
Absolute rocket from the edge of the area from Amrabat, well set up by Evans, and it was always rising, and it just hit the upright, and then the Manchester United fans are getting excited behind because it lands at Fernandes, but he just couldn't curl it into that far corner. But what a terrific strike from Amrabat, who's not found himself on the edge of the area much tonight, and that's not far away.
Quarter of the game to go. Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1 on Talksport. Taking your calls through to 11 o'clock tonight. Give us your tributes, your personal tributes to Sir Bobby Charlton, who you may well have heard passed away today at the age of 86. Scored 249 goals as a Manchester United player.
A really important part of the game now for both teams. Can both teams just tip it in their favour? Will the substitutes make a difference?
There to be won, isn't it?
Yeah,
for both of them.
Absolutely is. And the crowd, the Sheffield United crowd, just getting a little bit anxious. They want to see their team win a game, but they certainly don't want to see them lose another.
Garnacho wins the ball from McAtee. Martial on halfway. Lovely layoff from Christian Eriksen, and Garnacho was fouled by at least two Sheffield United players who were trying to take the ball off him. Harmer and Bogle, I think, were closest to him. So Manchester United have a free kick. Taken quickly by Eriksson. But there was nobody who made the run. I don't know who he thought he saw going forward.
Rashford, I think he's seen Rashford, but then he stopped.
And Sheffield United win the ball back, but put it out for a Manchester United throw on the far side of the field. Let's check in with Andrew McKenna in Paris for that World Cup semi-final. England, actually just one moment, Macca, with you, because here come Manchester United. Garnacho in the area, checks onto his left foot and then treads on it with his heel, and Sheffield United only get it half clear. It's back with Garnacho again. Now Eriksson, left-hand corner of the box, rolls it into Bruno Fernandes, trying to make room for a shot, trying to wrap his foot round it, gives it to Dalot. Now Eriksson approaching the area, left-hand side, clips the ball into the box. Rashford with his back to goal, and Martial couldn't lay it off. Sheffield United only get it half clear. Maguire on the scene down the right hand side, but runs into Sousa, and he's won a throw for Sheffield United. So we can now check in with Andrew McKenna watching the rugby. Sorry, Macca.
Pleasure, Dads, don't worry. 16 minutes to go in Paris. England still 15-6 up, as you say. Owen Farrell with a drop goal in this second half. The only points of the second half to add to his 4 penalties in the first. South Africa have been completely ragged. England just need to see this through, and they will be in the World Cup final next Saturday night. 15-6 up, 64 on the clock.
Just over 20 minutes to go at Bramall Lane in the Premier League. Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. The conflab between Paul Heckingbottom and Stuart McCall. There might be another change of foot.
They're feeling the pressure.
Yeah,
I think
but they've won it back on halfway. Archer just takes the ball round Johnny Evans, but back comes Amrabat to tidy up and help out his centre-half teammate and just roll the ball back to Andre Onana. 1-1.
Yeah, they just look like they're running out of legs now, Sheffield United, and the pressure building from Manchester United. This last-ditch challenges. They're making mistakes in the defensive third, Sheffield United, but so far Man United have failed to capitalise.
It's currently Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1, and for the latest odds, head to Betfair, the official betting partner of Talksport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Sheffield United at 11-2 to win, the draw 6-5, Manchester United 23-20, and don't forget Betfair are paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute payout That applies to match odds, 90 markets, all markets with the 90 icon. That's all thanks to Betfair. 18 plus, and the website you need, as always, is begambleaware.org. 20 minutes of normal time to go at Bramall Lane, and Ollie Norwood just trying to whip up the Sheffield United fans, doing that sort of windmill gesture, a bit like Jude Bellingham was doing to get the England fans going on Tuesday night at Wembley live on Talksport. That had the desired effect for England. What have Sheffield United got left in the tank as they go in desperate search of their first win of this season back at Premier League level? Currently, they're getting a point out of Manchester United, who themselves haven't managed back-to-back wins this season. Here comes Lindelof down the left-hand side, the Swedish fullback tonight. Gets the ball into the area, and out comes Fotheringham as Martial was thinking of closing in, but Martial, I think, gave up the fight. He knew that Fotheringham was easily going to get there first. But it's 1-1, but Manchester United have just hit the post with that fearsome drive from Sofian Amrabat. Cleared from hands downfield by Wes Fotheringham. Brewster goes up and wins the header ahead of Johnny Evans, but he couldn't find Archie, who had run beyond him. Brewster then goes in too strongly on Amrabat and concedes a free kick. Michael Oliver saying you had a chunk of Amrabat's shirt there, mate.
Yeah,
free kick Manchester United.
Brewster's actually done well since he's come on. You know, he's tried to win those headers that McBurney would, but just a little bit over enthusiastic there, trying to win the ball back from Amrabat.
So Manchester United have the free kick, midway point of their own half. Maguire floats it out to this near touchline, and Christian Eriksen, one of three changes Erik ten Hag has made in this second half to try and affect matters. Evans and Maguire again exchanging passes just shy of the halfway line for Manchester United, and then Eriksen again just inside his own half. Now we can bring the ball into Blades territory, moving quickly down the inside left channel. Garnacho on his outside picks it up now, level with the box, plays the ball in field to Sofian Amrabat, trying to give it back to Garnacho, but vital foot in from Ollie Norwood sent it back to halfway, but Manchester United retrieved the ball. Floated ball down the centre of the pitch from Maguire, intended for Rashford, but it was watched well by Robinson, who knew he could let the ball drop over his head for his goalkeeper Fotheringham to claim. 1-1.
Yeah, so Man United are trying to build with like 3 and 2 in front, and then instead of trying to build and do it slowly through the pitch, they're just going long all the time, so they don't really need that 3 and 2 build-up, but that's obviously what Ten Hag wants them to do. But they've got loads of players beyond the ball, and as soon as you've got players beyond the ball on that last line, as Sheffield United try to start to drop deeper, you just become really predictable, and that's what Manchester United look like they are at the moment.
But a player like Garnacho could always do something out of the ordinary. Here he is skipping along the halfway line, keeping possession for the visitors. Eriksen, who's dropping an awful lot between the two centre-halves to pick up possession, plays the ball for Maguire. Up to halfway, and Fernandes, who gives it back to Maguire. Early ball in field was intercepted for a moment by Luke Thomas, but he couldn't find a red and white shirt. 31,543 inside Bramall Lane tonight. A sellout between these two sides. And Manchester United coming forward with Diogo Dalot down the far right-hand side. Rashford and Fernandes now combining. Fernandes feinted to cross from the right-hand side. Instead, he moves it in field for Christian Eriksen. Rashford quite deep now. Clips it down the right side of the box, looking for Bruno Fernandes. But Gustavo Harmer there again. And he's trying to take the ball off Marcus Rashford. Sort of did, but Manchester United have won the ball back again. Amrabat will let the ball run through to Harry Maguire. Picks it up on halfway. Moves into the Sheffield United half. Eriksen. The ball bouncing around the edge of the 18-yard line. Sheffield United win it back. It's driven up looking for Cameron Archer, but Maguire steps in front of him strongly, wins it back down the right-hand side. Chance for Bruno Fernandes to swing across in, deflected off the back of Luke Thomas, and then collector's item from Bruno Fernandes.
And the defending
put it out of play for a throw.
They're defending really well, Sheffield United, but as soon as it goes up front, it's just going straight back again. And now, as soon as you don't have that sort of outlet, then it just encourages Man United onto you, and just needs to get hold of it, Archer, because Harry Maguire is just winning that battle now against, and Johnny Evans against the two smaller centre forwards.
Ollie McBurney had to go off for Sheffield United with an unspecified injury early in the second half, having scored the penalty that brought Sheffield United level in the first half. 1-1 then, with quarter of an hour to go on Talksport. Manchester United in possession with Harry Maguire. Of course, many appearances, 166 for Sheffield United, scored 12 goals in his time as a Blade. Ball's out to the left-hand side for Manchester United, and Garnacho level with the edge of the area, checking in onto his right foot. He's got Lindelof for support on his outside, finds the Swede. Lindelof just rolls it back to about 30 yards out. Dalot goes for goal. What a goal! Diogo Dalot finds the top corner. Magnificent hit from Diogo Dalot. An effort that Sir Bobby Charlton would be proud of himself. My word, he wrapped his foot round that so beautifully, Diogo Dalot, to find the top corner, beating the grasping hand of Wes Fotheringham. And with 14 minutes to go, Manchester United hit the front for a second time through an unlikely source. Diogo Dalot makes it Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 2.
Yeah, it had been coming, the pressure from Manchester United, and Lindelof found himself up the pitch and just has a look for Dalot, and he only needed one touch past Sousa, and then he just curled it into that far post. I think that Fotheringham couldn't see it. Actually, Fotheringham will not be happy with that. He should have saved it. It looked better, the shot, to start with. He got some fingertips to it, but he got two hands to it. Probably saw it late, I'll give him that. But as a goalkeeper, you want a bit. We got Paul Robinson sat further along from us, I think, working for somebody else, and I think he would say that you should have saved that dance.
Yeah, he got fingertips to it, Wes Fotheringham, but couldn't keep it out. Change made by Sheffield United off the back of that goal. James McAtee has been taken off, and Ben Osborne, who's been out since August with a groin injury, is on in his place. And a big moment in the World Cup Rugby semi-final. Andrew McKenna.
This game finally has a try, and it is South African. It's England 15, South Africa 13. RJ Snyman, the huge South African second row, has gone over from close range. That's on 69 minutes. Andre Pollard is converted, so it's 15-13, still in favour of England.
Thanks, Macca. 12 minutes to go here. Sheffield United find themselves behind once again. And they have the ball at the back with Austin Trusted. Just keeps the ball away from Garnacho on this near side. The Blades have to find a cutting edge once again, but Brewster can't keep the ball in play on this near side. It's only Diogo Dalot's second Premier League goal. He got his first one at Nottingham Forest back in April, but that was a beauty.
It was great strike. And Sheffield United have gone toe-to-toe with Manchester United, but you could just tell, I think it just tipped in the favour of Man United the last sort of 10 minutes or so, and you sort of could see a goal coming. It was just where it was going to come from, because the pressure had been rising. Sheffield United players just looked as they were getting a little bit leggy, and the pressure finally told.
Here is the goal scorer. Diogo Dalot finds Rashford, who was clipped just shy of halfway. You're listening to Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 2 on Talksport with Now. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action, like Aston Villa versus West Ham, live tomorrow for £11.99. No contract, just search Now Sports for all the details. Faye Carruthers back at base, along with Lucy Ward alongside me here at Bramall Lane. We'll be taking your calls through to 11 o'clock tonight. Give us your personal tributes to the late great Sir Bobby Charlton, who so sadly passed away today. 03717 2233 44. Lines are open now for you to book your call, and you can be chatting and sharing your stories with Faye and Lucy through to 11 o'clock tonight before fight night takes over.
Yeah, it's just taken the wind out of Sheffield United.
It has.
You know, you look, the crowd just look around the team, and they do give everything, and you know, they may be lacking quality in certain areas, but they have given everything tonight. They've battled Manchester United. They made the most of the penalty, but not made the most of when they were on top. And I think the Man United fans are celebrating at the other end, and I think that's more relief than anything else.
Ball's back with Andre Onana, the Manchester United goalkeeper. So last 10 minutes plus added time here at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 2. Osborne tries to keep the ball away from Amrabat on halfway, but it just drifts on the far side of the field for a throw-in. There's another change in the offing for Sheffield United. Just looking to see who that is. Could be Femi Seriki that's coming on, actually. We'll wait and see. Meanwhile, Harry Maguire wins the ball on halfway for Manchester United, and he finds Martial. hugging that far right-hand touchline. Eriksson touches it back to Amrabat near halfway. And now Amrabat in the centre circle, just pressurised for a moment by Ollie Norwood. Finds Amrabat once again. Lindelof on this near touchline. Gives the ball back to Amrabat and Onana, who's being closed down now by Gus Harmer. Right-footed clearance from Onana. Should find its intended target of Dalot. Good header on from Diogo Dalot, but tidied up by Jack Robinson. 9 minutes to go. 2-1 Manchester United.
Yeah, Man United are being a little bit cleverer now. They're sort of trying to draw the Sheffield United out, so Onana's holding on to it a little bit longer, so is Lindelof and Evans, and just trying to draw Sheffield United out, see if they can get a third.
Here's Cameron Archer though, left-hand side, fouled by Johnny Evans as he tried to run round him, obstructed by the Northern Irish centre-half, who gets a yellow card for that challenge. And Sheffield United have a free kick 4 or 5 yards in from the far touchline and about 25 yards out. Again, a chance to put the ball into the danger area here as Sheffield United seek a second equaliser.
Yeah, did well there, Archer. That sort of running into the channels drew Johnny Evans out, which is not somewhere that he wants to be, and then a little touch inside and Evans couldn't stop and just fouled Archer, and Johnny Evans is now sat on the deck, and I don't know whether he's got a knock as well.
He has, and the physio's coming on to treat him. I think Rafael Varane is being pressed into quick service to replace him for Manchester United, so this may well be a change. And Benny Traore is the player that's actually coming on for Sheffield United, the Ivorian, who joined from the Häcken club in Sweden, scored 25 goals in just over 50 appearances, but has yet to find the net in English football. Short, squat striker Benny Traore looks like he could be quite a nippy customer, but we'll see who he's coming on for, because he's ready, and so too is Rafael Varane, as Johnny Evans is led off on the far side of the field. So change for either side here as we tick round past 83 minutes. Varane for Evans, so Varane back involved. Missed the Brentford game, even though he was thought to be fit. Scored the winner against Wolves on the opening weekend, and the change is being made, and Gus Harmer is the player that's making way for the 20-year-old Benny Traore, and you can hear the applause. That's for the effort that the former Coventry man's put in, because he's moved from the Championship, but he looks a Premier League player to me, Lucy Ward.
He does. I think he's settled into this side well now. Sheffield United, he does get chances, loves the shot from range.
Free kick for Sheffield United, played into the area. Eriksson flicks it out to the right-hand side. Vinicius Souza will keep it in play. On this near side, the Sheffield United right. Thomas with a lovely cross, headed out by Maguire, headed back into the box by McAtee. Trusty tries to help it on, and it's hooked over his head by Rafael Varane. Drops out of play behind the dead ball line for a corner to Sheffield United at the Kop end. 2-1 Manchester United.
Tell you what, it's a great ball in from Robinson. It just needs somebody attacking. It's good defending from Maguire in the end, but Sheffield United have to throw players at those sort of balls into the box.
Norwood with the right wing corner for Sheffield United. Up go the heads. Drops at the edge of the area for Garnacho, who can sprint clear for Manchester United. Rashford's going like a train through the middle. Eriksson's up there with him as well. Garnacho still has it. Moving into the centre of the Sheffield United half. Tried to play it left, but there were enough red and white shirts back to win it. And here is Traore getting his first touch, playing a 1-2 with Norwood. Getting up to the halfway line, protecting the ball from Lindelof, who shoved him to the ground. Free kick, Sheffield United. 85 minutes gone on Talksport. Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 2.
Yeah, Garnacho, it's a good break up the right-hand side. I think 3 or 4 of his teammates joined him, but they just couldn't knit enough together. And I think that's been the story quite a lot of this game for Manchester United. It's been tough for them.
So free kick for Ollie Norwood, just inside the Manchester United half, barely over the halfway line. Tight to this near touchline, right in front of Paul Heckingbottom, who looks on as the ball's clipped to the right-hand corner of the penalty area, but Bruno Fernandes was on the scene first. But then Vinicius Souza ends up presenting the ball to Garnacho, who sprints away down the left for Manchester United into the area. takes it wide, tries to drive it goalwards, and it's blocked behind by Jack Robinson for a Manchester United corner now at the Bramall Lane end, with Manchester United 2-1 up.
Yeah, great positive run from Garnacho, this time on the left-hand side, and he was gifted the ball, and Sousa tried to just slide in and actually played it into the path of Garnacho. He desperately trying to get it on his left foot, but Jack Robinson did really well sliding in.
Mason Mount's ready to come on for Manchester United, but he'll have to wait until the ball next goes out of play, because they're going to want to take this corner first, Manchester United, which Bruno Fernandes has spotted down where the Bramall Lane meets the Tony Curry stand that we're sat in. Away to our left-hand side, Fernandes swings the corner in, headed out by Brewster, back defending. Dalot, who at the moment has the winning goal for Manchester United, retrieves the loose ball, plays it out to the left winger Marcus Rashford, hooks it back in field for Fernandes. Garnacho's got space at the edge of the area, tries a drive, and it skims the side netting and goes wide. There were one or two behind the goal who thought that was a third for Manchester United, but it isn't. And now the change comes, and it's Marcus Rashford that's making way for Mason Mount for these last 3 minutes of normal time, plus whatever Michael Oliver wants to add on for stoppages. Mount for Rashford is the change, with Manchester United, that is 2-1 up.
Yeah, he's been bright since he's come on. Garnacho is positive. He's always front foot. He always wants to attack defenders, and this time he's had a go on his right foot, and he's seen the replay of it right behind it, and it's like an arrow, and it just went a little bit to the left of the post.
2-1 to Manchester United. Are England still holding off South Africa in the rugby? Andrew McKenna.
They are not. South Africa are in front for the first time in the game with 2 minutes left. It's an Andre Pollard penalty from virtually the halfway line. South Africa have got on top in the scrum, and that's been the platform to get back in it. England have got 1 minute and 20 to find a score to take them back to Paris next weekend. They trail by 1. England 15, South Africa 16.
Thank you, Macca. We'll bring you updates on how that last minute or so plays out. One in it here as well. Manchester United 2-1 up with 2 minutes of normal time to play on Talksport at Bramall Lane. Maguire heads it strongly up to halfway. Sheffield United try and win it back, but Manchester United pick up the loose ends. Martial is challenged by Norwood.
I actually forgot Martial was playing until the ball was played into him then. It's not good.
Brewster skips away from a couple of challenges in the centre of the Manchester United half. Vinicius was well challenged by Garnacho, won it back superbly for Manchester United, but it's back with Sheffield United and Ollie Norwood in the centre circle. Strokes it out to Luke Thomas, left-hand side. Osborne looks to send a ball into the box, flicked on by Archer onto the chest of Lindelof, who very calmly passed outside of his area looking for Christian Eriksen. Eriksen with a super ball intended for Martial, but Austin Trusty got there first, but Martial does well to win it back. Driving in field, Anthony Martial, but Trusty there again to win it back for Sheffield United. They're not done yet, the Blades.
Yeah, Trusty did well there. I think he's really growing into that centre-back role in the Premier League.
Traore giving chase, the Sheffield United substitute, forces Maguire to head it out of play for a throw to Sheffield United. Level with the edge of the Manchester United penalty area, with Sheffield United attacking the Kop end. Bogle collects the throw, finds Osborne. Now Norwood to swing across into the box, deep to the far post, headed up and out by Varane. Bruno Fernandes can't win it back. Luke Thomas tries to send the ball in from the left-hand side. Blocked by Fernandes and brought away for Manchester United by Diogo Dalot, who scored a quite brilliant second for Manchester United. But his ball up to halfway, comfortably intercepted by Trusty. Now Norwood drills it out to Brewster in the left-wing position for Sheffield United. Midway point of the Manchester United half. Goes in field, but then Ben Osborne is dispossessed. Mount wins it back and finds Bruno Fernandes on halfway. Lovely drop of the shoulder to skip inside the defender. Mount picks it up onside down the right hand side of the box, but Vinicius comes back to claim it, and we're into 5 minutes of minimum added time. 2-1 to United. Did South Africa hold on, Andrew McKenna?
They did indeed. They will play New Zealand in next weekend's World Cup final. They were only in the lead for this game for just over 2 minutes. England led 12-6 at half-time. They were 15-6 up, and then South Africa late on through RJ Snyman with their try. Pollard converted and then kicked the game-winning penalty on 77 minutes. Heartbreak for England. South Africa will get a chance to defend their title next weekend.
Yep, South Africa, New Zealand next Saturday. Manchester United win the ball back high at the field. Martial fields Garnacho, puts it well wide of the post as we move into 5 minutes of added time. The whistle had gone anyway from Michael Oliver for an offside, I think, but it's a Sheffield United free kick, and they've got to get the ball down the other end of the field, Lucy Ward.
Yeah, and the more that they're committing players forward, the more gaps that they're leaving. That the obvious pace that Manchester United have got on the break, but they haven't got any other choice, Sheffield United.
It is Jayden Bogle in the right back position. Early ball looking to get Cameron Archer in. It's only half cleared by Manchester United. Norwood fires it out to the left-hand side, but it's picked up by Brewster. Brewster has got Thomas on the overlap. Thomas fires it across the face of goal too strongly, really. Claims for a corner kick. Only half-hearted from Sheffield United players. And it's a Manchester United goal kick away to our right. 2-1 Manchester United lead.
Yeah, just when Sheffield United need a bit of quality, Luke Thomas gets himself into a really good position on that left-hand side, and it's a wild cross into the middle when he had teammates waiting, and I think that was a cue for quite a lot behind the goal from a Sheffield United persuasion to start the way out of the stadium.
Yeah, 1 or 2 heading for the exits whilst Onana prepares to take this goal kick. 2 minutes of the minimum 5 have gone in stoppage time at the end of this game on Talksport. Manchester United leading by 2-1, and the ball's back with Onana, who will drive it first time right-footed downfield, looking for Martial Garnacho. Martial got his head on it, headed it down, but it's protected out of play by Traore, but he thought it was a Sheffield United throw. It's been given as a Manchester United throw. Oh, now that the assistant changed his mind, that's the dissent you can hear from around us, because the assistant on this near side originally looked to be putting his flag up for a Sheffield United throw, saw Michael Oliver going the other way and decided to agree with his referee. 2-1 Manchester United lead. Amrabat just over the halfway line, near to this left-hand touchline, finds Christian Eriksen, plays a 1-2 with Martial. Onto the left wing and Garnacho. Garnacho goes down, clipped by Bogle. Free kick to Manchester United, and that eats up a few more seconds for Eric Ten Hag's men as they look to secure this away win at Bramall Lane.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do. I just think that once that goal was scored, while Sheffield United was still in it, and once Manchester United got that second goal, I just think it just knocks the... And Sheffield United know that they don't really have that quality, or they haven't done it before, come and score 2 goals to win, and it's just an uphill battle after that.
There's a Sheffield United fan who's being wrestled to this near side, who's just been taunting the Manchester United players. Meanwhile, they're spotting down the free kick just down beneath us. Christian Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes standing over it. Not really many Manchester United players inside the penalty area. What we have, we hold, say Manchester United. Martial offside as he tried to collect a ball. 1 minute left of minimum stoppage time for Sheffield United to try and do something about this scoreline that will see them head to another Premier League defeat and another missed opportunity to get a first win back at this level after promotion. Trusty is fouled by Martial. Free kick to Sheffield United. Last throw of the dice coming up for the Blades. Oliver Norwood takes the free kick from midway point of his own half, looking for Vinicius Souza. Great header clear from Harry Maguire. Got up strongly as Vinicius Souza didn't jump for it, and then Garnacho fires a ball from left to right to pick up Bruno Fernandes, brings it down beautifully into the area. Martial tried to guide it goalwards, but he was blocked out by Trusty. Cleared away by Sheffield United, only as far as Lindelof. And Manchester United will keep possession now and try and see out time with a ball at feet. Christian Eriksen. 03717 22 3344. Get your calls in straight after full time to give us your personal tributes to the late great Sir Bobby Charlton after his passing this afternoon. And his old side, Manchester United, are doing his memory proud tonight at least. The 5 minutes of minimum stoppage time are up. It's up to Michael Oliver, and he blows his whistle, and Manchester United have back-to-back Premier League wins for the first time this season. And another 2-1 scoreline, but they didn't leave it as late as they did against Brentford last time out before the international break. They had this wrapped up a little before that, thanks to a Diogo Dalot strike. Only his second goal for the club in the Premier League. Brilliantly fired home from 25 yards out with 13 minutes to play. 1-1 at the break. Ollie McBurney with a firmly struck penalty had equalised after Scott McTominay had put Manchester United ahead for his third goal in 2 games, but then turned from seemingly 0 to 0 as he brought down a cross with his arm, given us a penalty, and McBurney scored it. But Diogo Dalot had the last word on what's been a very strange day for Manchester United fans, who will contemplate the passing of their greatest ever ambassador and player. But the modern day Manchester United have got themselves back-to-back Premier League wins, and boy how they needed it. Sheffield United still winless in the Premier League. They worked hard, but ultimately nothing to show for it. Full time at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 2.
Thank you very much, Ian Danter. Dance going down to the tunnel to speak to the Sheffield United boss, Paul Heckingbottom, and of course the Manchester United manager, Erik ten Hag. I'm sure we'll have plenty of reaction from the Bramall Lane tunnel as well on the passing of Sir Bobby Charlton. Give us a call here on Talksport. We want to hear your thoughts and memories as well. 03717 223344. Lucy Ward, did Manchester United deserve that 3 points in the end?
I think probably on the balance of play. I think the second half they were a little bit better. I think the balance was better in the team. But you know, I think with injuries and the way that they're going, they have Lindelof in attacking positions, which is not ideal, but it's actually where the goal came from. So it was tough for Manchester United tonight. I think Sheffield United gave as much as they could, but it just wasn't enough.
They could have scored more as well, actually, United, didn't they? They were quite wasteful on a number of occasions. Rashford dragging one wide. Amrabat hit the crossbar as well. Garnacho, when he came on, had 2 or 3 opportunities.
Yeah, they did. I just think in front of goal, so they don't look particularly confident in front of goal. Man United, I think that, you know, the likes of Rashford is not at club level, doesn't look as confident as he usually does. If Bruno Fernandes is not producing it, then they sort of struggle to go through that. And he's obviously, Dalot scores the winner, which you wouldn't expect it to be him, but it was a terrific strike.
Yeah, absolutely was. Lucy's going to be staying with us to reflect on that game as well, and to pay tribute to Sir Bobby Charlton and reflect on all of today's Premier League action. You can pay your tributes, as I said, to the great man on 03717 223344. Stay with us here on Talksport, but let's head to Paris and find out.